nights, long fights, it felt right, we were alive. We would go out, we were so loud, we were so proud, we had no doubts. Weekends and weekdays, we'd spend our own way. We were careless, we were fearless, we were reckless, time was precious. We loved to waste time, whiskey and wine, drinking all night, asleep by your side. Finally alive, we would just drive, never arrive. Our journey was live, staying out late, testing our fate, running away. We live for today, young and so bold, never get old. Screw what we're told, we can't be controlled. It's too late now, I remember everything, and how careless we could be, and how careless we could be, and how careless we could be.
I think OP and Burning took like 2,000 damage just running around. You're like, wow. Because once you hit level 20, when you're on Bloodseeker, you get that plus 14% rupture damage. It's actually so much damage, and he has 2 of them from the Aghanim, so...
And the Bloodright. The Bloodright with the minus cooldown, I think they were forced to build BKBs as a result, which is not something that you really want to do versus Bloodseeker.
I'm just so interested to know how this draft is going to go, because there's so many unanswered questions. You know, what on earth can you possibly do to hamstring EG is question 1, given that they have had a degree of diversity in their group stage. Bear in mind, we haven't seen them on this stage yet. Evil Genius has got the bye to this point, but we talked diversity. There were some recurring trends in EG's draft.
I think it's going to be the battle of the Bristleback. Who gets Bristle?
Yeah. Okay.
What's weird with EG, they've been kind of ignoring it or picking up in the second phase. I feel like at this point in the tournament, that's going to change, though. Like Seeker are first 2 picking. I think EG are either going to have a draft prepared to beat the hero, or going to have to ban it or pick it themselves early.
We've seen a lot of Puck and Crystal Maiden from EG.
Yeah.
Just getting those ones, the flexible, of course. We've seen Sumail and Universe play it.
They actually take... Okay, this is what we were talking about earlier. They actually take out both the Clock and the Nyx from EG. Yep, 2 of Yapsters like main heroes, and also just the Nyx. These heroes just bring a lot of diversity in the draft. They get picked up first 2. You don't really know exactly where they're going to go, because they have played it in 2 different roles.
That's respect given to Yaps again. Every team that Secret have come in the draft again, so given respect in their ban and pick.
So the Treant Protector is the big one. Are they going to get rid of it, or are they going to leave it and try to go for some type of strategy versus it?
And there's Night Stalker too. Like one of those 2 will probably be taken up.
So ban the CM. That's the one that we were...
This.
Yeah, we talked about it so much, how much it enables EG.
I think it's actually the hero itself isn't the OP part. It's what it makes your other 4 heroes OP versions of what they're meant to be. So because of that, I think you got to ban the CM. The Bristol's still there though, so if Secret want to grab it, it's definitely like a 1-2 they could pick up. There's no CM, but they could pair it with like a Keeper of the Light type hero, Treant Protector, and they will.
Yep, Treant Bristle. That looks pretty intimidating.
Oh yeah.
That's so cool. I'm pretty sure I just saw a Malaysian flag in the crowd.
Yeah,
that was a Mid-1 fan.
Yeah. Of course.
All right.
Damn.
All the way in Moscow.
I honestly, we continually get impressed by this Moscow crowd. We had the Finns for Matu yesterday, and now Mid-1 has a cheering corner.
There was a Burning poster as well.
But yeah, that's true, and a Miracle one. They've got diverse fandom.
So still go for the Sanking. I think these are 2 of the big ones that we were talking about, the Puck and the Sanking. I actually believe they ran... Did they run Sanking with CM every single time? I think they may have.
Most of the time, yeah.
Most of the time, right? Majority of the time they have played it.
They had one Sanking IO game.
Okay.
Against VP.
So some type of mana hero that gives like mana to the Sanking and allows him to roam better.
How many times have we seen EG pick Puck? That's the kind of thing I need to find out.
Every time.
It feels like almost every
time.
time.
Banned first phase.
Yep. I think 5, maybe. 5 or 6 games. So yeah, bounding out the Razor. Dealing with the hero that lanes really well versus the Bristleback.
Wonder wonder if they are worried about the Legion counter too. We've seen them, I think it was yesterday when they picked Bristle, ban Legion. It's kind of always a question of where do you fit into your draft. It does reveal a lot of your lanes if you pick it with the puck, because then you know who's going to be going mid, but it's such a good hard counter to the Bristleback.
I think that, yeah, I think Secret's probably thinking about banning that one here. So actually take out the Void. Very good versus the Bristle, the time dilation, and just great combination with the Sanking and puck.
I think LC would make their lanes a little bit weak though if they wanted to go for that, because then it makes puck mid, and then they're, I think, lacking physical scaling into the later game.
Yeah, we've seen EG draft it 4 times the puck. 75% win rates. The only game they lost.
I like the Rubik ban from EG. They already are heavy magic damage, Sanking and puck. No field for the Rubik can be very disruptive, and he has some of the best spells to steal from Sanking.
The Malaysian section of the crowd.
There they go.
I think one of the questions EG also has to answer, not just the Bristleback, but the living armor one. Like, how are you going to deal with the living armor on these frontline heroes? You need like a Jakiro type pick, a Jug as a carry with Blade. You need something that can easily burn through the living armor, or it's going to be making this Bristleback even harder to kill, or any other hero Secret have.
EG's draft, has that just almost primarily been targeting like almost all of the supports?
All of Yaps's heroes, more or less.
Yeah.
Damn.
The Kato is the only one that I don't think I've seen Secret play.
Well, maybe they saw what GH could do with it, and
I think it's the Bristle pairing. It's just the double quill spray. Just makes him super powerful.
Yeah. It's fantastic. It's just not a hero you'd normally expect or want to see Yapsa on. He's more active. Perhaps Puppy could play it in like more of a 5-position role.
I'm thinking what the Yapsa hero is going to be. Pretty much everything he's played at this tournament's actually banned out. Other than Kunkka, but Kunkka Treant doesn't sound
Do you think
at all.
Puppy's playing the Treant Protector, more like a 5-position at that point then?
I think he tends to, yeah. I think it fits more their style. I think it's what we saw out of them at Dream League and stuff like that too.
Skywrath Mage.
EG have banned Nyx Assassin in every single one of their games.
Where did that pick come from?
That's very different. Very good versus the puck though, for that instant kind of silence. I think Ben talked about it the other day when like Shadow Shamans were picked versus the puck. It makes his life like pretty difficult. If you jump in, you just get silenced, and you can actually get brought down.
10 seconds.
Very pressuring hero in the early game. I don't think I've ever seen Yapsar play it though.
When the going gets tough.
Could this be a mid Skywrath?
Unlikely.
Unlikely though,
It's a
right?
really bad matchup versus puck.
Yeah. You do get the magic resist later on, but it is also in the laning. Its lane is way too difficult.
Awful.
Yeah.
They don't have a combo hero with it though right now. You always want a combo hero with Skywrath. I'm trying to think of the good ones. The good ones, best ones are Void and Clock, but those are both banned.
So I know you were theory crafting about the Kotl ban, but I'm a little baffled as to why EG have banned it in almost every single one of their games. Do they think they know something that we don't? Kotl to be big this patch?
It just messes with aggression, and EG's been pure aggressive.
Okay.
Yeah. They played against some of the teams they played against, like Planet Odd, have like a Kotl specialist as well. It's kind of maybe a targeted ban against certain players and teams.
Warlock.
It's the first Warlock from EG.
They
used to pick it a lot more, but now that they don't have Crystal Maiden, it's the other 5 that they turn to.
So much team fight on their side now. A lot of like pretty high cooldown ultis though. Sanking in the Warlock.
How much of Secret's hand have they shown now with that Skywrath?
Very, very little, I think. I mean, the Skywrath itself is like an unusual pick, but the fact that this 4th pick is what's going to reveal a lot more. Like, you don't know whether Bristle's carry or off lane. You only know one of the 3 cores. It's this 4th pick where you get a much clearer idea of what Secret's going to be doing with their draft.
I think they need like a Ember. I think the root is really good for Sinking and Puck. And they need the setup for the Skywrath ulti. And if it's a bad lane, I think they can have some Treant help there, but like,
they can
I can't really think of that many other cores that pair well with the Sky.
DK, right? DK versus Puck, instant disable, sets up pretty decently for it. Works really well with Bristle to have those like 2 beefy frontliners.
Not instant anymore though.
Yeah, not instant anymore,
that
but
sucks. It really sucks for that matchup.
It does suck for that matchup.
That's pretty good. I think with that they can play a pretty fast-paced game, although the armor is pretty useless.
It is. He's been building a lot of good call. He's been building a lot of hoods and stuff on like the DKs, but yeah, they go for the Ember Spirit. Wow, very fast pick draw Ranger by EG.
I think they were expecting that. They pick it very often versus the Ember Spirit.
The Drow was I think the Drow pick was kind of like their draft's in a tough place as far as dealing with a Bristle, and they just want to go for some kind of like all-in push type strat, although it's very hard to play the Drow Ranger against a Bristle if the Bristle does get farmed.
5 seconds.
Skywrath is like food though. Skywrath and Ember both have super low armor. Like any of these heroes will get destroyed if they get right-clicked.
5 seconds.
Got to throw in that tree though, right? The tree can just be like on top of you, and you're just like messes up with a lot of what your chances are with the Drow Ranger, because you just lose your aura or your marksmanship.
Fire team ban.
Tree's also quite nice versus Warlock, because you can always just, I mean, if you're fighting in the trees, if you're fighting in the jungle, you can just like find that back line.
They still don't have an easy solution for the living armor either, so that's, I think, also a concern if you're trying to just initiate on someone with a Sand King or Puck and there's a quick living armor. That hero is very likely to survive.
Always worried about getting brooded.
Yeah, they banned the brood. They've been banning like a lot of those, like their last ban usually is like a Huskar, a brood, one of those kind of like cheese things that
They
really
don't want to
can
get
abuse
cheesed out.
They even have the Sand King this time, and they still ban the brood.
And brood is like used to be like the Drow counter, like for a big part of when Drow was a very common strategy to go to.
Reserve time.
Drow Weaver to be.
Probably looking at what, Sumail heroes now? The ban out for Secret.
But I mean, what can you be? He's played 9 different heroes.
With Drow Ranger, it's much more limited though.
Okay.
So you're looking at ranged heroes that generally attack pretty fast, like OD, Lina, and Wind Ranger are the 3 that you usually see with Drow Ranger. Anything else?
Those are the
you could
big
put
3.
Puck, but I think that they would have scaling issues if they put Puck mid.
Go back to some like Medusa type hero with the Drow
Medusa's very
Ranger.
likely to. Yeah, you're right.
OD. There's
They go for
scaling
the
in
OD.
it.
Yeah.
Did Secret not ban anything? Is that?
Is that right?
I guess so. I'm so confused. I was waiting for a
Yeah, I
ban
was
to
waiting
pop
for a
up,
ban
and then
too.
suddenly
OD pops up.
EG picking up an OD.
Gosh, do you think they?
Phantom assassin.
Yeah, that's not PA.
PA, the anti-Drow.
The anti-Drow.
But there's so much magic damage, but the evasion's really good versus the OD in the Drow Ranger.
So I think we saw Yapsor pick the Skywrath, so it looks like it's going to be Puppy Tree. Ooh,
I like Secret's lineup more.
I think so
This
too.
guy.
Even with the kind of spanner in the works of Skyrath, you like it?
I think Skywrath's fine. It's just the Drow Ranger, I think, is pretty vulnerable here. They still don't have a great way to deal with the Bristlebag.
We saw it last time they played Drow, where the Drow kind of got bullied a bit, had a rough time, but the other lanes and heroes just did so well it didn't matter for EG.
That was versus Planet Odd, I believe.
Okay.
I think a lot of this depends on how Ember does in the mid lane versus OD. We've seen that matchup go terribly wrong for Ember's.
I'm liking Secret as well. I really like they have Treant Protector and they have Bristleback. Like I think these two heroes can actually just go out of control, and the Drow Ranger might not have too much of a relevance in this game.
So
even though Puck might get stuff, it's like a trade-off.
Despite outlining Secret as the underdogs, there seems to be a general vibe of Secret winning that draft phase.
I'm going with
How do you
EG
feel?
though. I think they've got strong enough lanes with the Drow Aura, the Warlock to zone the Bristle, and I think the Sky for Yapster is a bit of a question mark for me, so I'll go with EG.
To be fair, there have been question marks surrounding Yaps in the past, and every single time
That's true.
we find ourselves talking about him afterwards. Let's have a look though. Secret versus Evil Geniuses. Hot favorites going up against the team that have just knocked on everybody's door so far here in Moscow. Let's check it out though as we dive into game 1 of our first semi-final here in Moscow.
Get out. We have got a huge matchup to kick us off today. Secret versus Evil Geniuses. I'm Toby One. I'm joined by the wonderful Purge.
Hey man, how's it going? Pretty excited for the match. The draft is pretty interesting as well. EG going for more of a Drow strat with some ranged heroes. A little bit what we expected to open up, but the Drow kind of came out of nowhere. You were surprised.
Yeah, Drew, she's been appearing throughout the tournament, but it's always been a little bit rough. Like the distance closes, but with no Nick Assassin, no Clockwork banned out early on, she's going to have a lot more space to work. But as the boys in the panel were saying, Drow Ranger, one of these heroes which can die time and time again, but it won't matter if you buff up your lanes so much better. So Sumail's going to have a great time, Universe is going to have a great time, and we know Arteezy is no stranger to dying on Drow Ranger. Back when he used to run at mid, I remember one of the games he died like 7 times, got no kills whatsoever, but he just amplified everyone else so heavily. I think it was
I don't know if that same thing's going to happen though, because I mean it's an OD mid. OD is very good at winning his lane, or at least getting some lane advantage. But transitioning wise, it depends on hero matchups, and against a Phantom Assassin it can be tough because of the evasion, like they said, and even against a Bristleback, he can just turn his back, even though it's pure damage, he still reduces it. So they Secret definitely has ways to play around it, and they have very good diving heroes between Invisible Tree, PA for Blink, Bristle just running at you, and Ember Spirit doing the same. So if Secret can find the right moments, they can definitely get on top of EG and quite easily punish them if they can get in all the way before getting initiated on.
I definitely agree with that. And that's where like the EG draft has a couple of problems. But as long as EG are able to be the ones that dictate the pace of the lane, then I would lean towards EG being the victors in this matchup.
Especially if they have a lane advantage too. If they do very well in the first 15-20 minutes, it's going to be a lot of towers dying most likely, if the tree can't stop that. And that's the other thing that's at play that's kind of interesting, is that Living Armor could really offset what EG tries to do against buildings. It can take longer to take their buildings, and if they aren't fully successful, they'll be healed back up. So there's a lot of cool play that can go back and forth in this game.
Well, Team Secret already started off with a nice play. Puppey has blocked the pull cam. He notices too that Universe is the one running up on the top lane. So Sand King is going to be Zion their support, rotating up to the top lane to try and help him out. While the bottom lane, they're going to push Arteezy to the off lane. So it's going to be Warlock as well as the Drow Ranger running the off lane. And Team Secret have already adapted their lanes as well. They're running both a Bristleback plus the Skywrath Mage on the bottom and pushing MP to the top.
Yeah, we'll see if that is for sure what they expect. I kind of like the idea of PA versus a Drow as well, because you can gap close and hit him easily, but maybe this is the bigger threat lane for sure. Between Drow and Warlock, two ranged heroes, they've got really good heal. I think they just want to try to bully Universe, and the root from Tree is going to help out with that.
I'm wondering too on the bottom lane, like who wins out actually? Like you talk about the Drow as well as the Warlock having some good damage, good harassment. Can the Skywrath Mage actually zone them out? We saw the power of Kezu just to sit in the front lines, and then Yapso just spams from the rear with the Arcane Bolt. Is that enough to burn the resources of EG before the 5-minute Shrine?
EG kind of has the best case scenario, actually. It's two ranged heroes. They have bonus damage from a passive aura. Yapso playing Skywrath Mage. This is a hero with very, very low armor, and he's got good damage output. But they've also got a heal to counteract that, so I kind of feel like EG's got what they need.
Be careful. The setup is there from Samael. It's imprisonment. Zai's ready with the Burrow Strike. They're going to get the stun. Ember was so low with no Flame Guard. PMS won't protect him. The Searing Chains! And the Sal! He's back into the tree line! Zai doesn't have the mana for a Burrow Strike, but you know he's not giving it up just yet. He's clarity up. He wants to wrap around the side and catch mid one as he goes back past the tier 2 town, but mid one is running side on the west. They cannot reach him there.
That was the most dead hero I've ever seen, but the crazy thing was that he backed off just far enough to cast Searing Chains, and that ability interrupts whatever you're doing as a hero, so it canceled their animation. They had to re-attack, and that only gave them one hit. Andy salved during that, which got him just enough HP to live. And the cool part as well, Puppey instantly TPing in the mid lane, because creeps under tower, somebody's got to get this experience. So instantly he gets there, he gets a fast level 3, and even though they harass the Emperor, it's going to delay his game. But Puppey can now take these 3 levels to the top and do good things.
And as we've seen with a lot of the Ember Spirits, it's all about the catch-up game, which you can play afterwards. Thanks to the early levels, it's a level 1 in Living Armor, which can be grabbed. So Yapso gets the heal on the bottom lane, while Zai was initiating on him. Also interesting to see the Puppey, no points up in lead seed, even with this aggressiveness he's been having up on the top lane.
He's got one more skill point. He may put it in there, probably will, because it'll allow him to kill better.
But almost every Treant has actually bypassed both Nature's guys in Living Armor to get that lead seed early on.
Yeah, in a lot of cases, and Universe getting his salve interrupted. This is really bad for him. I thought he read that Puppey would be here. He could go down.
Phase shift. Wow! Dodges the dagger.
Yeah. If PA had Blink Strike, maybe they dived, but didn't have any more skills, and Universe now in a really bad situation. His last Tango will trickle out. He'll be at 40% HP. He's got an H-Charge Wand, but past that, he needs a bottle soon, or something else. Losing that salve was very costly.
Okay, someone needs to rotate towards the mid. Like, I understand that mid one is down, and we talked about him playing catch-up later on, but Samael cannot continue to get this far ahead. 22 for 6 against the 9 for 1 Ember.
Yeah, it's a pretty big advantage, 1 level as well. I mean, he's going to have a hard lane no matter what happened, but I think he just has to kind of deal with it, and I think that's all right, because the other lanes for Secret are going very well. And in fact, I think the hero that I'm most worried about having a bad early game is always going to be PA, because that hero with just levels and no items isn't very effective. So I feel like for sure PA has to have a good time.
Zai starting his move towards the mid. It's a really good time as well. Imprisont's up, but you know that the protection, the shields are gone for the Ember Spirit. This time there's no salve. Mid one, back to the tier 1 tower. There wasn't actually a real follow-up because OD has gone for a 0-2-2 build. Nothing unusual about that. They just didn't have enough damage to really follow up, but they do force mid one all the way back to base.
And once again, they get a support rotating in the mid lane. This time it's going to be Skywrath Mage. Very much needed levels on this hero, for sure. The faster you get 6, the easier it is for you to do gank combos. And you're pretty much light on disable. You've got a little slow in silence, but very high in damage. So maybe he can use that for really good uses. And against an OD, I think he can be pretty effective this game, because that hero needs to not be silenced, to cast spells, save people with Astral, and just do a lot of damage.
Do you think it's actually worthwhile for Capsule to prioritize going in for the Ancient Seal against Sumail?
I'm not sold on that build, because it just means your damage output is completely related to your ultimate. So I actually do like it when players max Arcane Bolt first. But maybe he'll do something like a 2-1-2 build, depending on what his needs are.
I suppose the other thing to look at is the amplification. Like, what else is he actually able to work with? The rest of his team mainly uses physical damage.
Other than Ember, I think that's the one guy that he can make a lot of good things happen.
Now they catch the Skywrath Mage. Ember Spirit is just farming up, living armor, owning imprisonment, but here comes your TP. Is Tree on the way? Lee Sin will give a little bit of extra life. Will it be enough? Yapsol won't make it back to the tower in time. Evil Genius is still first blood. Zai, hiding inside the Sandstorm, will be able to survive as well. A lot of rotations, and the kill still goes the way of EG.
And Sumail's the one to get the kill as well. So first blood going to the enemy mid. Very dangerous, especially the enemy Sumail player. That's not a good one to throw gold towards. But decent for both teams. Not the biggest loss ever for Secret, considering it was just a support.
Yeah. They're still going to look later on to have MP really hit like a truck. Kezu, trouble, the double slow coming up from both Upheaval and the cold arrows of Arteezy. He went for a 2-0-2, so there's no silence, but Zai, a Burrow Strike, catching out Kezu and Yapsol. They still can't get outside this bloody Upheaval. Yapsol has no point up in the silence, so Crit can just stand his ground, keep the silence going. They turn the Shadow Word onto Yapsol. He seals up on Zai, but Zai doesn't have the mana for a Burrow Strike. It won't matter. Arteezy has the damage. 3 kills to 0 in Team Secret. Starting to lose control of their lanes. They already lost control of mid, but with this double kill on bottom, the EG offlanes are looking really good. Oh, and a shrine. Wonderful.
Just a really nice play from EG there. They skilled Upheaval. They hadn't used it yet, probably, so their opponents didn't expect it. And the worst part was that despite Yepsor being there, he didn't yet have Ancient Seal because he was only level 3. Ticked over in the last second or so, and he maybe could have used it to instantly remove the Upheaval, but
mid lane,
he held it.
They're going on top of Sumail. They got the lead seed out. Mid one, Searing Chains, actually missing the chains, but it won't matter when MP arrives. Getting himself a crit to kill off the OD. So you can leave that sword sitting in the ground. What does it actually say? Rest for the wicked. Sumail, you be wicked.
And that's exactly what Secret needs to do if they're losing their lanes. Take heroes from places they're going semi-okay, show up somewhere, get a kill, and then reset up your lanes in a positive situation. And right now, MP is very effective at roaming, so more good rotations like that, he could get a fast Deso,
flank around.
It could be good ganks.
He goes up through the tree line so he can get around the back near to Arteezy. In fact, Arteezy walks into MP. It's like he didn't know that MP was moving all the way down. They just have to move forward. The double guts at least stops the slow from Yapsol, but cannot make it back to the tier 1 tower. Rotations are good, and Kezu will claim the kill on bottom lane.
Really nice rotation. Again, limits his farm potential, but killing heroes limits their farm potential, so ultimately good for Secret. And he picks up a really fast cloak, a very weird item for Phantom Assassin, but because he has good evasion and okay-ish HP, the counter is nukes. He'll go right through the evasion, and there's a lot of magic damage coming from EG, so I like the choice, even if it just sits right there for the rest of the game.
It looks like it. He switched himself in towards the Vlads, which is back to where he normally would be, so the casual cloak.
Yep,
just a Phantom Assassin.
Small 550 gold tangent can definitely pay off in the long run. Especially with things like tree heals. Puppy, speaking of which, has been going for a Max Nature's Guise build since there's decent counters against living armor, I suppose, and better root this way as well. So easier for them to gank heroes like Puck and OD as well.
Yep. Well, Puppy can take all the experience in the top lane and get more of those levels. Meanwhile, Kezu, because they pushed the Phantom Assassin to the bottom lane, he starts farming up the stacks. There was only one small stack with the extra Satyrs that was prepared for him, but with his TP up, burnt the shrine, does his farm, and this is the catch-up game. The net worths now, you actually have the second and the third net worths being the Phantom Assassin as well as the Bristleback. It's the OD who's still number 1, not like no surprise there with Sumail, but it's the fact that Team Secret have just played such heavy catch-up with their cores and shut down the draw with the puck.
Exactly, because they spent time moving around, even if Sumail died one time.
You're too deep, Spirit Fort, mid 1, sees Universe, but they're just focusing on the Sand King. Now they're no seal. Able to orb away back to the tier 1 tower Universe.
Yeah, did he use it on the Sand King? Is that what happened? It must have been something like that.
I don't know if he was just in range.
Also possible, yeah. getting out of range. Skywrath Mage is a very fast hero. He's got boots up, going to be building towards the Veil. I actually like the build a lot, especially, well, I guess this makes Ember not having to buy one.
Oh, Bristol's got to get out of here. Like, upheaval, Kazu, he's actually, well, he's got 3 Warpath stacks. The movement speed will allow him to get to the left. Here comes Sumail, however, double damage rune. Actually, it looks like it on the OD, but they just hit like a truck. Bristol will fall, didn't have a lot of life. Puppey was trying to find him before this engagement happened, but he just didn't see him.
Yeah, only 23 damage actually from the Drought Aura, but boy does he hit hard right now. Yep. Huge mana pool. Null Talisman, Staff of Wizardry. He's probably got his 4th staff flying out, and he does actually. So, really good spot for Sumail to be in, and that actually is going to nullify a lot of the disable for Secret. And now that he has that, it's going to basically make YapzOr useless if he can force whoever gets gone on. That's
Are
really
they
bad
actually going to defend this? First TP's coming in from Kazu. At least he can pull the creep wave off the tower. With the draw range, obviously looking to take a lot of towers. The fact you brought down the tier 1 tower in mid is fantastic. But they're fighting wherever MP is not.
If they can just stop or delay the tower going down, it's a huge gain for them. Because again, Living Armor is going to be the way that they heal things.
The courier, rooted up by Puppey and picked off. Nothing was on it, however, so it's just a courier being sniped.
That's a lot of gold.
It is.
Universe,
trouble on bottom lane. They're going to go for the Dream Core, start to TP out. Again, crit. With his 2-level upheaval, even Phantom Assassin, who has a Phantom Strike, had nothing to jump to. She just knew she had to leave.
It's the safer move by far. Puck is actually very good against Phantom Assassin because he is such a mobile hero, but if you just TP and there's no other stun follow-up, it's an easy save. He's going to lose some farming time, but ultimately dying is going to cost him those. And he's not that far away from Sumail.
They're letting the tower go. Because with Arteezy down here, you're going to push the Bristle back up to the top lane and force the trade-off. If they were going to defend it, YapzOr would never have abandoned the tower.
Oh, Puppey is going to the tier 2. Maybe he's just going to set up and watch rotations, most likely. Look to see if they move to the mid lane, if they go somewhere else.
Well, he found a target.
Yeah.
He found Sumail. Sumail has a haste rune and a 4-star, so catching him out is going to be difficult.
Oh, yeah. He's got overgrowth at least, so he can prevent him from attacking, but they're just watching. He just wants to see where they're going right now.
He also sees the fact that Zai has an Observer Ward. So if you can see where that gets planted down, that's also a huge victory for him.
That could be great. So ultimately for Secret here, yes, they have the tree. They would prefer not to have the trade, but getting a trade at least is going to offset a lot of that gold advantage. So very good for Secret, especially because they have a tree to look for kills later. So they have a lot of space that they can split push with Ember. I don't think they're too upset as long as they defend this tower.
They're going to find Zai. Puppey setting up. YapzOr's going to come over. They didn't actually have the detection. The seal from YapzOr didn't come in time. And now Puppey revealed having to commit the overgrowth. They drop down the Mystic Flare with a 4-star from Sumail. Pushes him out of range of it. Bristle back. Silence for the moment. Couple of sick charges there, but not really a lot to work with. And Puppey, still revealed by the dust, will be brought down. This all comes down from EG pushing the issue on the bottom lane towards the tower. And well, Kazu trapped up. Can they actually break him free of this? Sick charge is being committed, but Kazu doesn't have enough life. Sumail will have a double kill, and Empty has no influence in the proceedings that EG have initiated, and they will keep going.
They just do way too much damage to the Bristleback right now. He needs a cloak or something, but even just the relics alone were doing a lot of damage. This is that period of time where Bristle can make some good things happen, but he is not the ultra invulnerable hero that we usually see late game. So they do take the fight, they do lose Kezu, but they still keep the tower up. So I think that's ultimately great for EG, or for Secret.
I'm kind of surprised that EG aren't forcing the issue, but maybe one of those reasons is that courier snipe. It's down for 22 seconds, but Warlock hasn't been able to bring out that Tome of Knowledge out to him yet, so he hasn't had the Warlock Golem available. Puppey's looking for his target. Zai in the tree lines. Good target. Catches him out. They go for the Searing Chains. A quick silence and a quick form of Mystic Flare, but the 4-star from Sumail breaks him free. Zai will Barrow Strike himself away. I don't know if he's got enough life to survive this. They're bottling him up so Zai can survive, and he will be able to do so.
Yeah, with Raindrop, he's going to be just fine. Bottling from Sumail, great. And again, the 4-step paying off twice in a row, and that's one of the reasons that Secret couldn't take that fight. If they drop Mystic Flare and Ember goes in with Flame Guard and the fight doesn't happen there, they lose the fight. And it comes down to Searing Chains as well. Then that last engagement, Mid-1 moved in, he tried to use Searing Chains, but the Sumail is already gone, so they have to coordinate perfectly, and they have to play around that 4-step now. Because if they keep making mistakes like this, they're going to lose kill opportunities, and EG might just roll over them with better farm.
But now you have the Vladimir's offering. Up on the Phantom Assassin. She's going to get initiated on.
Ooh, no
and,
TP.
well, she's standing her ground for the moment. Maybe look for a couple of crits onto Universe. Jumping forward, attacking in. The rock from Crit will have to be committed. A new creep wave's on its way, but MP doesn't have enough life to get back to it. So Crit will find the kill with a punch from the Warlock Golem. That's the first time they've killed the Phantom Assassin.
It's kind of a big mistake there by PA. He didn't have his TP in his inventory. With that said, though, Warlock was ready. He wanted the TP to come out so he could rock it. So ultimately, EG gets exactly what they want. It's the enemy carry kill, and it was a great pick. Definitely worth the ultimate. But it does mean they're bad at team fighting now, so maybe Secret will try to exploit this. Maybe pop a smoke somewhere after they push their lanes, go take an engagement.
It also looks like, can they take the engagement?
I think so.
You can attack in.
It's possible. They just have to find the right one. They're definitely trying to fight. We see Puppey finding heroes and trying to get kills. And they know that their heroes are good at skirmishing early. PA's fairly good. Ember's definitely good. But all the fights have just gone slightly poorly. It's a great ward here in the jungle as well for EG, spotting Secret's movements right now. Or at least going to spot things like PA's farming and not smoking to come kill us.
And said he's going to go back down to the bottom lane to continue his farm. Bristleback's doing the same kind of thing. He said KheZu needs to have that block by having the hood up and running. If he's got that, then he has a chance to survive in the fights.
It'll help a lot.
Phantom Assassin's going to give the lifesteal at the same time. And, well, it kind of feels like Yamso's been countered by one item in this game, which is the 4-star, fully upgraded to a Hurricane Pike on Sumail.
And that's a lot of the reason that Sky isn't picked. I think that Secret was maybe hoping to have just a simple off-lane puck, but with the lane swap, Secret had to go for a different setup, and he ultimately hasn't been super useful.
Finished the farm. The Dire actually scanned him, so they know he's there. And KheZu is really uncertain about him. He's got enough money now, so he can buy the Ring of Health.
That's pretty good. So yeah, hood finish. He still has to worry about the pure damage from OD though, so.
Sumail, they got a good position on him. Spirit jump forward, no, he Hurricane Pikes down. Mid one still wants to commit, but he actually Astral imprisons. Mid one can't control him. Sumail is just outplaying him now. Universe and Crit in through the rear with Arteezy holding the high ground, but it's a 3-man coil. They try and make space with the overgrowth, but Zai preps the epicenter. The damage will be too much for Secret to repel. Mid one will fall. MP as well as KheZu are on the run, but the orbs keep flying into that Bristleback. They'll fight underneath the shrine, but do they have enough? They're actually having to run away from their own shrine regeneration. Puppey scouted out for a quick moment.
They might go back in though. Yapru's up in 6 seconds. He hasn't used his ultimate yet.
And you can just go straight in. Burrow strike on top of KheZu. You've got a leech seed. KheZu trying to get close enough to that so he can leech a little bit more life. MP jumping in. The damage. Looking for it on Arteezy. The Mystic Flare. Zai will cop most of that, but he's not dead yet. The orb attacks from KheZu, from Rhapsody on the back line. He'll get himself a double kill. Chris pretty low too. Yapsor will claim him. It'll be a triple kill for Yapsor. Now it's up to the big one. It's Sumail. They need more help. Mid one will arrive. MP with the crit. It's MP that will take it, ending a huge spree. And evil geniuses, they'll lose everyone but Arteezy.
A very MVP-esque fight from Secret there in that it looked so bad. They spread out nicely in case they needed the TP, but EG stayed in the area trying to get more, or maybe looking for more picks, maybe trying to turn it to a tier 2, but instead they TP'd the heroes back in and they finally got to outplay their opponents. Didn't see a rock in that fight either. And EG used most of their big cooldowns right at the start when they first killed the Yapsor, so just staying in that area really cost them.
And it's almost like there was buyback talents under that fight because they came back so quickly.
It was early game, man. And Skywrath Mage gets the level 10 out of that. A huge advantage, and now he felt good. Once that Force Staff was down, even if his ulti was splashing on 2 heroes, he got multiple cycles out of his silence, tons of arcane bolts. It really paid off in that fight.
Do you actually like his choice as well, moving in for something like a Rod of Atos? Like who was that meant to be for? I know you subscribe to the Book of Fog where Atos is fantastic.
Rod of Atos is literally made for Skywrath Mage. It is so good. It's a root. It prevents them from moving. I believe you can't use Phase Shift now as well, so it's perfect. If there's a Force Staff, it still counters it, but against some of these more mobile heroes, Atos is amazing.
3-men smoke up. They're coming for mid one. There's just Silence and Dream Call with the gust. They'll drop the rock. Mid one needs something to jump out to. He won't have it, however. Yapsor was on the way. They actually had both MP and Yapsor fairly close to him, but EG commit everything to ensure the kill on the Ember Spirit. This opens up Roshan for EG to do. Ember has buyback available. Every ulti is up.
And it's just a good choice.
Oh, they found an opening. They found Puppey in the back lines. He can't overgrowth. He got silence. He was trying to create a little bit more space. Needs to go invis. Do they actually have enough overgrowth? Here comes your imprisonment. That should be enough damage. His living armor is regenerating him up to 180. Okay, that's one way to ensure it. You throw out the orb, but MP's gone back inside the pit.
They want to go in there. They do see the golem is low.
But they lost crit. They've lost the upheaval slow now.
They've also, but with Puppey dead for 18 seconds, okay, they're going to play a little safe. They'll move on out here.
Well, Sumail has an invis rune. He can close the distance on MP, but they're too far away. The golem is timing out. They don't have that tank anymore.
And Secret's getting really close to a strong moment. MP's almost got his BKB, so his damage is going to be weak, but he's going to be magic immune, which is pretty much everything EG has, with the exception of Drow, and he's got evasion to cover that. So MP can jump on whoever he wants if they take a good fight. But even still, the vulnerability is still on Ember Spirit. This guy is so countered by all of the stuns and silences and mana drains that EG have. Gonna see a replay.
Yeah, have a quick look at it again. So EG really group up. Kezu's the man tanking it all, but here's that TP coming in from the tier 2 tower. It's going to be Kezu causing so many problems in the back, and it looks like there was actually no good opportunity. It was actually on cooldown. That's why Crit never got the rock off. He never had it in the fight.
That's really tough for him. Yeps are getting a double kill in the back line, forcing EG back and forward. And Yeps are surviving with the magic wand and finally a silence to guarantee Sumail's death. It was a great TP by him.
Oh, we're back to the world of the living right now. Team Secret engaging in. We already lost the SK mid one. How to pick up a double kill is actually MP who claims it. And with this, with the Vlads, with so many players from Evil Geniuses down, they will now take Roshan, Team Secret.
Yeah, their heroes are so good at running at EG. It's that straightforward. All 3 cores great at it, even the support on Tree good at it. And now they're going to scout for Sumail.
Universe, the all flies in. Mid one's actually TPing out, but it's Puppy. He finds Sumail, the Observe Ward, up on top of the shrine. They're imprisoning over only on the illusions for the Mystic Flare. Arteezy will fall, they jump in deeper. OG, Sumail has one more swing. In fact, mid one will take it. The Ember Spirit Flame Guard burning him down while the Veil was buffing it up. Meanwhile, back to the objective. They're looking towards Roshan once more.
And if EG is not ready to fight, they cannot get caught. Secret's way too mobile for that, and with the Aegis going to Secret now, this means that anything EG wants to do in the next 6 minutes while this Aegis is up is so much harder. Because that means not only does MP have his BKB almost, well, in fact, he might be able to go back for Deso with the Aegis, but he can just jump on his opponents, throw himself away, make them waste their cooldowns, and turn that into a really good team fight.
And you're running double jump as well. The Blink Dagger on mid one.
That's great. He needs that.
He can close the distance. Phantom Assassin can close the distance. The Dro buff up that EG have been accustomed to in the early laning phase, which gave them such an advantage, such a pushing advantage, will now just be deleted because there's 2 heroes that could just hunt him.
On the bright side, I think Arteezy's going an impeccable item build. He needs Dragonlance and Treads to hit buildings easy,
Puppy.
and he needs Shadow Blade.
Get away from the sentry ward.
And with the Shadow Blade, he can turn it into a fast Silver Edge, which finally gives him a Bristle solution as well as a PA solution if she doesn't have BKB. So I think Arteezy's going more of a ganking and team fighting item build rather than a slow siege, hard to defend one.
I'm wondering if they still have enough damage for this though.
I think they do. It's just you can't have your opponent, you can't be Overgrowth, and they can't have BKB active. Then you can definitely kill people between OD and all their nukes. But ideally not a full 5v5 team fight where that Secret gets to initiate or have Tree grab a great Overgrowth. Then it's hard for EG.
Yeah. But EG have had amazing vision, so them getting a pick off, understanding when Team Secret is out of position, is not beyond the realm of possibilities. That's what that deep observer ward's doing, and they've had this ward down multiple times on top of the Radiant Shrine near their Ancients.
I mean, it's useful.
So much.
It's useful for spotting rotations and stuff, but the place they need vision right now is in the lane. They've got some, but not a lot.
Sumail's just trying to build up the stolen intelligence at the moment, pinning into Kezu. Elite has plus 16, plus that Sanity's Eclipse, but they've lost their tier 1 tower. They fortify it just because he may as well. They'll come back off cooldown once the tier 1 tower drops.
He'll try to deny this with his Blink Dagger, but no, he's not even going to mess around. It's super dangerous. If Tree's spotting there behind the tower with no sentry, easily it could be Sumail getting caught and possibly followed up on, so they'll play it more safe here.
But they're hunting Arteezy. They're looking for the Dro Ranger, and it's because their Observe Ward scouted Arteezy, headed towards the west, but now he'll TP out and reveal himself on the bottom lane.
And now there's a Solar Crest on Bristle, which finally gives him an item that's advantageous towards the OD, and that's going to hurt EG for the entirety of this game. They might even need a Solar Crest of their own, but Warlock is building it, just finished his medallion. And they got to take a good fight because things are starting to look hard for EG. Their lineup is not as good at ultra late game, but it's pretty good. I would say it's not your typical all-in Drow lineup. It's like some kind of a weird hybrid. And if Arteezy can still keep his farm up, and by the way, he's ahead of everybody on Secret, then it could turn into something really scary late game, like an actual Drow Ranger carry that doesn't just get pushed over.
Let's see if they can get the combination right. Like that's the big thing as well. Like fighting inside your base looks really scary. Like Team Secret going into the EG base players. It's really scary just because of the big AoE combinations that EG is capable of pumping out. Now they jump in, and you can't get the combination when you're losing your backliners. Trip wants to drop the rock, but not on a BKB target. They'll only stun up over on mid one, and Puppey coming in. Overgrowth is ready. It actually goes off. OD can't run away. Rooted to the ground. Epicenter has done some work. The triple burrow strike working from Zai, hiding in the sandstorm. Puppey will finally go down. Samael done so much work, being pushed around the back lines in his own way. Kezu ready to fight with MP. MP jumping in deeper. Kezu needs to create some space. Arteezy backing up for the moment. MP almost down. Will go down. They want to go for more. Zai's hanging around. Burrow strikes off cooldown right now. He can slow up Kezu. Samael, there goes your Hurricane Pike. Easy kill onto Kezu. And Evil Geniuses. It looked bad when the rock only stunned on mid one, but Samael had so much space and so much smarts during that fight.
Yeah, it looked like such a bad fight for them. They lost the Warlock. All he got off was the Golem, but when that happens, you know that Warlock player is going to micro that Golem perfectly, and regardless, they weren't able to follow it up onto a Samael kill, as well as Ember Spirit getting killed on the side, and he bought back for that, and didn't even feel safe going back in. That was like a tremendously bad fight for Secret. EG completely outplaying them.
Yeah, that gold graph and experience graph just dropped with it. That was a 4,000 gold loss and increasing. The experience shift was about 6,000 in favor of Evil Geniuses. Now mid one misses his combination on Arteezy because the Silver Edge is totally done for him.
And the Observer would probably helping with that reaction time a bit, but that could have been a kill there. If he grabs the Syrian Chains, it keeps him visible. Puppey gets the follow-up. That would have been an Arteezy kill. So EG's just staying a little bit ahead of Secret in the last 5 or 10 minutes. And now he's building towards BKB on Drow, so now he's not even going to have to worry about the nukes on his opponent's side.
Very, very comfortable position now for EG after this. EG policing the Russian crowd with the Russian lines that got Adam in 2 nights ago.
Are there any good ones? Did you read the translations yet?
I did not actually.
Okay. I didn't even know they're in the game.
I got the Chinese ones. Okay. Sunstrike, Sunstrike! It's great. Alright. So Universe is now going to go in for the Aghanim Scepter, so the BKBs, which potentially could be allowing the PA just to run wherever she wants to.
Any of their heroes.
Is going to restrict it, yeah. Everyone gets stunned, everyone gets locked. Bristleback is reaching his tanky position, but it may not be enough. Bottom lane, initiation's over on the park, it's Universe. A quick orb jump away, and he will be fine thanks to that defensive Eul Scepter.
Very smart for Universe there. He knows if Ember goes for a move like that, there's probably a tree as well. He did not mess around at all. Orb, instant invis, or phase shift that is. Don't let Puppey get the follow-up. Otherwise, he would have died there. So good escape. And Ags is definitely the way to go. Historically, I think my favorite moment of this build and Puck becoming popular was, maybe not popular in the first place, but at TI, Wings used Puck to shut down the PA draft from MVP. And this is a great way to do it. Dream Coil is the solution, and Ags makes it even better.
Yeah. If EG can hold their nerve and not have a bad fight, then they'll be looking great. We still, like, everything we said about Team Seeker's fights from before still looks bloody good. Rod of Atos control, if Puppey can get a good overgrowth, if MP can move around freely in the BKB. All these things can work for them, but...
They're starting to lack damage, I think, is their biggest problem. They still have Sky combo, of course, but when a PA goes for a Vlad's into a Black King bar, you've got immunity, you can stay alive and fight for a while, but you're kiteable, and you don't have very much damage. It's not a typical carry damage output. And consistently, this is the problem with PA as a hero. Ember Spirit has been having trouble even getting into the fight without dying, and he still doesn't have some way to remove silence. Like, his net worth is actually in the bottom 5, top of the bottom 5, but that is a really bad place to be as an Ember. But it's just been a tough game, and he's missed a lot of crucial chains.
What do you think about this on Skywrath Mage? Yapzal's currently got an Aghanim Scepter in his quick buy.
It's a great item, actually, because you get double Arcane Bolt every time you cast, double Silence, double ulti. If they got they can't force staff 2 people, that's a one-man item.
That's very true.
They may build another one soon. We'll see. There's one on Sand King, and that's it. So 2 force staffs total, and those have to be the heroes not stunned when that's happening.
Well, the BKB is now done on Samael, so he won't care too much about the Mystic Flare for the moment.
Yeah. Normally you don't want to buy BKB this early on OD, but he has to against the silences of his opponents. So a needed move, and I think it'll be fine. He's got 20 attack speed perk to make up for some of the damage lacking, and he'll just go into more int items after this. Probably a Hex, maybe a Shivas.
Interesting, we just brought up the ward set as well. A lot of wards being purchased up by Evil Geniuses, but Team Secret have had to switch their, okay, mid. That's going to be okay.
Made him use his Hurricane Pike. It also makes him a little bit more uncomfortable mid and may make EG heroes think about rotating here. So ultimately fine what he tried to the annoyance that he tried to put forth there on the episode. I would maybe like to see him go something like Tranquils, get some extra movement speed, but...
Mid one, blink in, Searing Chains, they're going to 4-staff him up. They've got another 4-staff in the hands of Zai, but Sumail stands his ground. Rod of Atos is flying forward, but he can dodge both with that defensive imprisonment. Crits in the neighborhood, Mystic Flare, Sumail just flicks right out, but Zai, the epicenter, combining up with the Rock and the Bonds. You got nowhere to go but down. 2 heroes lost. You're definitely going to make it through. Kazu cannot run out of upheaval and cold arrows.
What a fight by EG there. I'm very surprised Sumail was able to get a Blink Dagger out, considering the ulti damage from Skywrath Mage must not have hit him, but he gets out in the perfect epicenter Burrow Strike that even stunned MP before the BKB came out, and because of that, completely overpriced for Secret.
And fantastic move for EG now. 33 seconds before you're going to have the Bristle back up. They are actually checking Roshan with Zai. He's still another 2 minutes away. It's actually the max spawn time for Roshan. So while he's not up, EG may as well keep pushing. Golem is there. He's got some damage to pop out.
There's a lot of heroes with it.
Oh boy, look at the tower just rip apart. The 4 range heroes all buffed up together. The tier 3 tower is gone. They can start looking towards shrines, and Team Secret have just had their back broken.
That was amazing. Double tower, and they got shrine advantage now. Now it's just a massive EG advantage. And it looks so good for Secret for a moment there, but consistently the hero that hasn't been able to do enough is Ember Spirit. And it's just because of how bad the matchup is and because he's behind in farm. And now the network just looks insanely in advantage of EG in terms of the individual ones. The 2 cores, the Drow and the OD, are way ahead of the Secret cores.
Team Secret are coming to try and contest Roshan. Smoke's not going to break when they come to the pit. Someone should probably poke that in to see if he's up, which they do now, realize he's not.
And they're trying to catch EG players right now. They know their big ultimates are on cooldown, so this is the time to fight. Even Sanity's Eclipse is a long one. And it's part of the reason that Ember's having a tough time. It drains your mana, and he needs mana to make his hero effective. At least until he gets a BKB or other solution.
Aghanim Scepter for the Roshan fight for EG up on Universe. Issues galore. Issues massively galore for Team Secret.
And Puppy's trying to spot out EG to see if they're going for Roche Pit. He does see the orb in. Well, Roche control is the next big thing. I think if Secret loses that, it's almost guaranteed going to be a Roche loss, or sorry, a Rax loss later when they use it for pushing. So they have to control this. It's very important for Secret. Keep wards up, break smokes, things like that. And that's why Puppy's standing here.
Zaya's an Invis rune on bottom lane. He's going to break it out now, so mid one will say hello. I think all he wants to do is kill off the creep wave and make them look behind each other. Mid one, wonderful slide dodge. Will come back up to his spirit, just north of the Roshan pit.
And they're TPing in.
Yeah, you got another 5 seconds or so until Roshan's up. In fact, make it 1 second. The orb, it doesn't give enough vision, or does it? No, it didn't actually see deep enough inside the pit to see Roshan, but the smoke is out from EG. 5-man smoke up. Puppy will be nearby. He'll break all of the smokes. With the observable, he sees everything but the silence. They're jumping around EG. They really want to bring down Puppy. Nova overgrowth for him. The side of Fist Searing Chains catches out both Sumail as well as Zai, but there's no follow through. In fact, it's going to be MP jumping on the front lines, battling up against the BK beat up Arteezy, but the Dream Call and the Rock. Team Secret, you're going all the way down to the depths of hell. When that Fatal Bonds will connect you, you're all sewed up by the upheaval. No one can reach crit, and I don't think anyone can reach a hopeful point here for Team Secret. If they lose everything here, they'll lose Roshan, they'll lose a Rax, a double kill for Sumail, and Team Secret, that was meant to be their big opportunity to get back into this game, contesting EG at Roshan, and it fails horrendously.
Puppy did his job completely by breaking the smoke, but the problem is he doesn't yet have a Blink Dagger. Not weird at all for 32 minutes as a tree, and because he doesn't escape and Secret was so far away, there was just no way for them to get there before Puppy died. Ember Spirit tried to, and he tried to slow them down, but EG's so far ahead now that they can just roll over Secret. Skywrath Mage is not good in this position, and the rest of the heroes are also very reliant on their opponents not having BKB. It was just a straightforward fight for EG.
You still have 30 seconds before Bristleback is up, before your frontliner is here. No fortification available, and double damage rune on Arteezy. Just the icing on the cake. EG will take the Rax, and I feel like right now, watching either Invictus Gaming or LFY, they have the power to keep pushing, but they're going to play it safe, take the Rax, and then back out.
Yeah, absolutely. Don't mess around here. No ultimates on the big 3. At least Puck's got his, but you do not want to fight when you don't have BKBs. When they have BKBs, straightforward. Ember Spirit does nothing, Skywrath Mage does nothing, PA doesn't have items to do damage, so he still does nothing, and even Bristle. Bristle's maybe the biggest threat, but he's not super overfarmed at this point.
Well, the fight's going to go on again, so we'll have a look at it. So this is where Puppy gets broken out.
Kezu's trying to slow things down, he just gets banished. And then it's just MP by himself trying to hit EG, and at this point, they know they're in big trouble.
Yeah, the second that rock connected, even with the BKBs, because it was the fresh Aghanim Scepter, they may not have realized it either. But Kezu and MP, the two big ones. Kezu has always been that front liner that's just been able to tank everything when he plays the Bristleback, but in this game, there's just too much for him to deal with.
It's really tough to play against an OD, honestly. The extra pure damage, it's not something you can counter other than through raw HP and evasion. And if you're behind, that just isn't a solution in a lot of cases. He's got the Halberd, that's a good way to go, but he's got to cast that before BKB is used, and in a lot of cases, it won't even ensure a teamfight win. It'll just buy you some time.
Kezu's trying to get whatever farm he can before he's forced to go back inside of his base. That net worth is just streaming down into the pockets of evil geniuses. It's not like they've got enough money in that organization already. EG will knock on the top door. And this is it for Team Secret. They have to defend this. MP is still moving over. His 8-second BKB is going to do some work, but when those orbs from Sumail are able to connect, actually not getting that much, he's only got 4 intel stolen at the beginning of this fight. They seal him up, Joe Ranger, they 4-staff it up as well. Dream Call out from Universe. Epicenter from Zai still available. Thought he was going to do it when he Burrow Striked in, but the overgrowth, it's good from Puppy, but down drops the rock. It's Sumail who's just standing his ground. Remember, he's got the BKB, giving him protection. The second line from the Aegis to the Immortal, but you don't want to be expending this one until you find something bigger, and maybe the kill on mid one, that's something bigger. Brought him down, dropped the ulti. OD will commit it while he's still got the intelligence to work with. MP living armor is allowing him to survive, but Sumail still so low. The attack from the Absol won't be enough, but caught too far on the front lines. It's mid one. Here comes Zai. Burrow Strike forward. Living armor again. It's helping MP survive, but Arteezy way too much damage. They just keep forcing the issue against Team Secret.
And they're not playing for the late game. They're trying to end it right now because they have a giant advantage. And I wouldn't even be surprised to see GG. There it is. EG just having a little bit of a rough early game, and then all of a sudden getting into this momentum swing where there was nothing Secret can do. And it's just based on their heroes. They drafted not just for the lanes, but also to have really good matchups later. And it paid off big time just because they shut down the right heroes.
Yep. I'm still going to look down towards that bottom lane fight around the tier 2 tower. That moment that Team Secret had possibly the worst fight they could have in that position. They looked like they had the advantage. They were pushed.
Oh, I got the money in my pocket, but I'm happy, so fuck it. Yo, I'm feeling so fine, I'll be drinking my wine, flying high like a rocket. I got you, you got me, do you wanna join me, my drink is free. I got you got me, and we don't know where else to be. Oh, we got no problems to worry about now. We got no others to break us down. Oh, we got no problems to worry about now. We got no others to break us down. The money in my pocket, but I'm happy, so fuck it. Yo, I'm feeling so fine, I'll be drinking my wine, flying high like a rocket. I got you got me, do you wanna join me, my drink is free. I got you got me, and we don't know where else to be. Oh, we got no problems to worry about now. We got no others to break us down.
fill us in at some point about what Russian cheese consists of. I learned a lot about it, other things. He's not here though. We'll find out later.
It's a secret.
Oh God, yeah.
Sorry.
But it
so
is
sorry.
team secret that has to be our next discussion topic because they're on the ropes. Backed up into a corner, EG have an opportunity to throw that uppercut.
I think versus EG, like I've been seeing them play around a lot Kezu in a lot of their games. They play around mid 1-2 a bit, but they've been focusing a lot on Kezu, probably because he's been playing Bristleback, so I might be a little bit biased for that. But I feel like versus a team like EG, when you have this like guy like Sumail, I think you play around mid 1 and you try to make him have the best game.
I can understand that. That makes sense to you, Gods, on the end there, just because every game we've seen so far from Secret, albeit some have been successful, mid 1 is not having the best of times.
I think as a team, it doesn't need to be a go-to, but against EG, I think you do need to play around that mid lane because EG do. So I think you have to respond to EG's game plan by addressing the mid lane. Against another team, we saw yesterday against IG, you don't have to address that mid lane. Mid 1 will do fine against OP, but against EG, you've got to change your game plan.
That's where we develop mid gone.
Yep.
And look at the bans.
Same bans
from EG. They know
Switch
what it
sides
works.
though. So now I think this time they have to pick up the Rubik first too, right? Do they just do the Bristle again?
Isn't Rubik awful versus Treant though in lane? I think.
Oh no, I mean for Secret. Oh,
for Secret,
yeah.
Especially if it's Sanking, because it's like great against Sanking. The null field you know is going to be really value. That's probably what Crit's thinking about. Like, okay, if we pick Sanking, they're going to Rubik. Is that a problem?
I mean, you take one of EG's consistent drafts, which was the CM, immediately take a second, which was the Puck. And Sanking, they get it every time.
I think they're definitely taking Rubik. Yeah, bam. They have to do it this time. Green strategy.
I mean, we previously, on panels, not too dissimilar from this one, chastised a Rubik pick this early because you don't know what you're necessarily going to be stealing.
It's good for Sanking already.
Yeah, it's already really
good. It's good for Sanking, but is it also just because it's Yapzor?
And no field.
No field is super good. I think also
it's Yapzor.
I think it's also the combination though. The Rubik tree, it's not like it's like, okay, we're locked into defensive kind of lanes. You can go aggro tri-lane. This is one of the best because you just get that instant grab and then tree and protector does a bajillion amount of damage early game.
Oh,
with good chase potential.
98 or something?
90 a lot.
90 a lot.
Yeah. That's a real number.
There they are. That's Team Liquid. They'll be playing later on today on that very stage in those very chairs. For now, the draft continues and we do wave goodbye to the Conehead.
Yep. Goodbye, Darkseer. Never heard someone call him that.
Hat shopping must be such a difficulty for him. Bless it. Can you imagine?
He wear those like magician's hats.
He'd have to wear one of those floppy beanies, but it would look like a normal beanie on him.
Yep.
That's the only way I can see it working.
Good way to hide your cone, you know? If you're a bit insecure
Dude, you should
about
never
it.
hide your cone. It's called, I mean, yeah, the cone of shame. He could wear those collars they give to dogs as a hat. Anyway, Dota.
I was wondering, what if you had it like the way that dogs had it on, though? Then it'd look really weird.
Then it would look really weird.
So they ban out the Void again.
Yeah.
Even though they do have like the Rubik for the steals, it's too much combo coming out from EG.
And they probably know how to press W.
10 seconds remaining.
We certainly know Universe does.
5 seconds.
Haven't seen Bristle pop up yet in this draft, but definitely something
what the
team should be considering.
With the faces ban, it looks more likely. Bristle was not the issue last game.
No, I don't think so. I think that Secret still might just be looking at that one.
Oh, EG abandoning because they've saw the opening ceremony.
Yep, Black Hole and Roshan.
Yeah, you can solo Rosh.
I think they're banning out like Kezu's big staple heroes, like the mech carriers.
They're not scared of his Bristle though.
5 seconds.
Neither is Winter.
Neither is Winter.
I think it's justified. I think you're way more scared of his big team fighting heroes. He just plays those much better.
Yeah, it fits just much better with the team. It's like he plays it better, and that's like what Secret kind of thrives on when Kezu's playing those.
It does seem that when EG draft or when EG ban, there's always a great deal of respect given to every opponent, even the group stage, that they evidently had done their research and understanding of what makes this team tick.
Secret actually bans out the Bristle themselves, so they're afraid because they don't have the first pick coming out of it, that maybe EG just grabs it right there.
Between Rubik and Treant, there's very little damage to deal with the Bristle at all.
Yep.
So
Rubik, I don't think Rubik really likes to play versus Bristle at all. It sounds pretty miserable.
5 seconds remaining.
Some hero that just runs at you and you don't get any good spell to steal at all.
Reserve time.
And no field is useless versus it.
Is this typically where EG are going to show their hand, or can they get away with another?
Could pick their support, pick their crit hero,
yeah.
like the Warlock again, or something else if they have another idea in mind.
You like crit on the Warlock hit last time?
Gave him a big team fight, maybe not so much against the... Well, I mean, Rubik, you're not too worried about Rock being stolen in theory, but... Press your E, press your Q, and you're good, but... Maybe you want something that's going to be able to secure the lanes a bit more.
Oh, there it is.
Go for it
Stick with
anyway.
it.
Heavy team fight.
Yep.
Which, I mean, you and we on the panel will repeat. That is the meta at the moment, right? The pursuit of team fights. Very brawly, Ben.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, indeed. So what are they going to get for Kezu now? Because Kezu's hero pool seems the most limited out of all secrets at the moment, especially with the targeted bans coming out.
There's the Tide Hunter. That's been a big one of his from time to time. If you want to match up to EG's team fight, that could be a consideration.
We have seen Omni Knight come out from them. They don't have a good pairing with it, but Magic Immunity is really good versus EG right now.
Well, he had Weaver selected.
Yeah.
It looks like. Well, they've played Weaver a lot in the past with the Rubik Dream Protector. They go like aggro with it for MP. However, it's not really the most ideal versus this much magic damage and burst. Instant lockdown from
Invoker
sinking.
selected now, I believe.
Thinking about it. Razor.
All right.
I like that we got to see the process there.
That was cool.
was
Yeah, you
really
see like
cool.
the thought process going through a little bit. Razor though, usually you like to see this hero paired up against something like instantly like that you can steal damage from. Right now, this is not really like a counter to anything that EG does have.
There's some synergy between the telekinesis and the static link.
They might want
Yes.
to aggro though with the Razor.
Yeah.
I think that you want like a strong laner so that you can leave alone, so you can roam with the Rubik and the Dream Protector.
I think maybe
Criminally
also
low win rate.
they're maybe also looking at that. Right now they're having all magic damage, and last time when they did this, they picked some heavy physical core. The Drow Ranger was 4th picked, so they're kind of setting up to preempt what EG's going to go for, that heavy physical, and they're taking the Razor now.
I don't think Razor's particularly good for Drow.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I didn't mean like specifically the Drow, just physical
the
core,
physical.
yeah. But EG just goes straight for the Drow Ranger right away. Like you said, it's...
Same for.
Yeah.
And Sumail will have the last pick for mid.
It just works so well every time with EG's draft.
Well, and now if you, the thing is, if you aggro trial on the Drow, then Puck gets 1v1. Puck in the offlane with Drow Aura is pretty good in almost all 1v1 matchups. So
Yes.
EG knows they're going to be doing well in the offlane with Universe and the mid lane for Sumail. So aggro trialing the Drow Ranger doesn't necessarily lead to a successful laning stage.
I'm a bit thrown off by the Razor 3rd pick.
Would you rather it was Invoker? Because he was hovering over it.
Invoker's a little slow though. If you're
It's a bit
worried,
slow.
if you see 3 of the same 4 last heroes or same 4 heroes,
Yeah.
and then you're expecting a Drow Ranger, you don't want an Invoker. It's way too slow. You'll get run over. But you can defend high ground with it. That is one of the benefits.
10 seconds remaining.
I personally think the Razor's more so that they can aggro the Drow if necessary.
They've done it again.
Radiant team.
Yeah, I think PA was fine. I did not particularly fancy the build just because I think that...
Did not like that cloak, did you?
Well, it was more the cloak and the BKB. I view PA as a very offensive hero. Like, you already have the innate blur, and you have a lot of mobility. You just need to be able to one-shot people with the coup de grace.
10 seconds remaining.
And it was a big issue last game that they didn't kill heroes before they got their spells off.
Remaining.
It's always
Ban
interesting.
Brood again.
You can see that they're going to be watching this game intently. LGD in the crowd will be potentially meeting, well, rather, yeah, potentially meeting one of these teams in the grand final.
So they banned out the Brood, even though Secret likely still have mid hero left.
They're still just afraid of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just too good versus Drow Ranger.
You think don't they need a Kezu hero for Secret?
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah, the Razor PA likely to be the mid and carry. I guess you could put the PA mid if you want to aggro trial in the Razor. There's Tide. I think it's the best hero for him, putting on something that's comfortable, something that's team fight, something that can at least match up to EG, but it's still going to be a tough game.
And Alina locked in as well for Sumail.
That destroys PA.
Yeah.
But if PA gets big, you can also kill Lina.
MP picked up the PA, so it might be Razor mid. But again, I think Lina does fine against both.
That's still good for Lina. Ooh.
Well, I see that you guys were not necessarily... I mean, let's recap. You liked Secret's draft in the first, and we saw EG win it. Now I feel like you're going to like EG's draft.
And maybe a game 3.
Yeah, we don't like the Razor so much.
Yeah, I don't like the Razor.
We don't think it counters any of the heroes, and it's going to do poorly in lane, which is... we don't understand why they picked it.
Okay,
sure they have some reason.
Theorycraft with me, where does Secret's win come from if it is a win? PA gets fat?
Rubik, I think
Yapsor gets 3 kills in 5 minutes like he did before.
Steal some big spells, make some big plays. He is the team fight in a lot of ways. When you have a when you have a PA and a Razor as your 2 cores, you need the team fight to come from your support. So Tree and Rubik have to step up.
I think if they shut down the Drow Ranger and don't lose too hard of the lane with Razor, they could do okay.
All right. Shut down the Drow. It does seem like we're expecting this to finish in 2, though, from our analyst panel. We'll head over to our casters now, as they'll be making as much noise as they possibly can to see if we see 3.
Well, this seems familiar. Evil Geniuses have almost exactly the same draft, except one change-up. The OD is now being substituted for the Magical Burst Lina, which is great against the PA. Team Secret pulling out the Razor. Some other stuff looking very familiar. What do you think, Perch?
3 out of 5 same heroes. The difference is the Rubik and the Razor mid instead of the Ember, and then no Scarif mage. So I think it can work. Like the panel said, the matchup mid is not so good against Lina, and their off lane is now a Tide instead of a Bristle, so it's more team fighty. It's a little bit better at lane. It's less countered. And Secret still can run over their opponents, but they're more cooldown reliant now than they were in the last game. So I don't know. We'll see how the lanes go for Secret. I'm still not sold on the PA as a pick, especially when you have to go BKB first. Like Ben said, like something like Deso, in a lot of cases, is the way you have to roll. I think my criticism is still maybe towards Vlad's first, because the item doesn't really increase your survival. It doesn't increase your damage much. Makes your team fight good though. So there's trade-offs here. I almost wish you would do Deso Rush or Vanguard instead of Vlad's, then go Deso. I'm not sure.
You definitely see the sides of both. Like if you have the Vlad's 2, it opens up Roshan for you. It opens up for like a lot more survivability with your Treant. But we'll see how MP does approach this game. Obviously, they're going to have a little bit more control coming out of their supports this time around. Puppey was fantastic in game 1, even though his effectiveness really felt like it dropped off. The overgrowth was still good controlling. It stopped the EG smoke plays a hell of a lot, and Puppey kind of just tanked it for the team. Now he's working with his other boy in green. He's working with the Rubik. You got one of Yapsor's highlight heroes from yesterday, and we'll watch his rotations. And he's already prepared for it. Smoking up with Puppey, they're going to invade into the Radiant jungle.
They're wrapping him in 100%. They both committed to body block. Never mind. Okay. They both committed to body block.
Zai's so close. Yapsor needs to pick up. He actually started to attack. Now they pick him up, throw him back in again. Puppey already started off with Elite Seed, so Zai is slowed up, running through, tries to actually munch on the tree. Will give him a little extra regeneration, and Crit will help it out with a quick Shadow Word as well. So it's like Puppey and Yapsor want to create issues on this bottom lane. They'll team up with Kezu, once again the frontline tank.
I really think that could have gone mid, but generally when you do that, it's not the most beneficial because you'll get the first blood, but he'll just TP back in the lane, and he hasn't farmed anything yet anyway. So maybe hoping to get a support and affect their tri lane in a positive way.
Mid 1 having a better lane than last time. That's not that hard though. A 1-1 up against a 3-4, so mid 1 still need the damage, making it difficult for Sumail, who did actually go for a 0-1-1. Up against a Razor, like, what's the normal build? Do you want to be spamming our Dragon Slave to push the lane and get the last hits?
Almost always, but I think he got the stun because it's going to prevent mid 1 from running at him. So every time it looks like mid 1's thinking about going for a link, he'll just throw the stun out. And in fact, he did have damage stale there, but it was a big fat 0. That means that when he went for it, Sumail stunned and walked away. So if he can keep outplaying him in this way, and the way only Sumail can, yeah, it could just be mid 1 having a crap lane once Sumail gets more Dragon Slave levels and just pushes the wave with bottle.
All right, now mid 1 is having to fight underneath the tower. He's still short of his bottle. They're both, in fact, almost equally far away from their bottles.
Like, look at that. He just sees, he feels it coming.
Yep.
Oh, this is the right time for him to use Static Link, throw the stun. He steals 10 damage. That's nothing.
We still have that top lane battle, the PA going up against the Puck. Universe has been really up in his face. Like, he's orbiting whenever he possibly can. He's spending more time attacking MP than he's attacking creeps, and he's still actually getting more bottom lane. Crit's in trouble. Very, very low. The attack from Yapsor will be able to spill the first blood. Fantastic for YapzOr, he'll be able to buy up his boots, which makes his rotations a lot easier.
Yeah, that's huge for Secret, considering how this guy plays. And it reminds me a lot of what Liquid did yesterday. Just doing an aggro try with your off lane to ensure that your opponent's safe lane doesn't do as well. And it's a lane that historically Drow is really poor in. You do not want to be aggro tried as Drow because your hero just kind of sucks pre-6. Even pre-like 5, you're really weak. So it really comes down to the mid matchup and maybe the off lane as well.
Mid one, be very, very careful with how you're playing this lane. Like, he stole the damage and knew he could do it against Sumail because Sumail had no mana. But now the bottle charge will arrive. You could see Sumail trying to force the issue. Mid one, well, Fairy fires up, is barely able to survive. There wasn't enough mana with another bottle charge to get the full Dragon Slave up once more.
He actually didn't need to use Fairy Fire there, but it looked really dangerous considering the bottle got delivered at the same time. And YapzOr's going to walk towards mid, just do a little bit of roaming play here. And there's no ward that's going to spot him doing this, except for maybe the safe lane ward that spotted him leaving. So we'll see if Sumail realizes this is coming.
This is where you get really great synergy between both mid one as well as YapzOr. You start the static link, pick him up and throw him back in again, which means mid one gets the maximum stolen damage. There's still a decent amount of damage coming out from the illusions, but it won't be enough. Mid one will take the kill on Sumail in middle lane, and YapzOr's influence felt once more. Bottom lane, KheZu getting stunned up, and now upheaval once again from Crit. Puppey needs to slow this down. He lead seeds on Arteezy, so Arteezy can't keep pumping out the damage into KheZu.
That gank mid was so perfectly executed. If he got just a little farther away, static link breaks, and they're not actually able to kill the Lina, it could have been Razor dying, but because they initiated at the perfect time between YapzOr as well as mid one, it secured them the kill. Very, very needed considering the last hit difference between them.
Again, we have the situation too where the supports start taking the experience in mid and play catch-up. It seems every single time Team Secret with their supports, they play very level-dependent supports as well.
Yeah, moments like these on either Tree or Rubik are really beneficial, especially when he's on a hero that YapzOr can really do well with. But with that said, they wouldn't even have an open lane if Sumail wasn't constantly wrecking in the mid lane. So there's positives and there's negatives here.
Well, they're trying to go again on KheZu on the bottom. Couple of cold arrow hits from Arteezy. He loves this lane. Draw versus a Tidehunter is actually the dream. When you've got 2 points up in the cold arrows early on, he's only got 1 at the moment. When you got 2 and KheZu is still only on basic boots, he doesn't have the movement speed to get back to the tower. And combining that up with upheaval effect and potentially a setup Burrow Strike from Zai, yeah, absolute nightmare for a Tidehunter.
He doesn't take that much damage though, but it is a big deal, absolutely. And this is why he's gone more Kraken Shell than Anchor Smash. Normally he'll go Anchor if you can use it, but he's just got to go for the raw damage block now, which will pay off because it'll offset some of what the Drow Aura does. Actually, more than that right now.
Something needs to be done about this top lane. Universe, he's already got treads, he's got a magic wand, he's getting all the charge because MP is just throwing out stifling daggers, and he's always managing to find himself in range to get the charge.
He's got the most last hits in the game by far. 34 with 17 denies. He's almost level 6 here, and MP just kind of ticked over against 5. So this basically means as soon as Universe hits 6 here, finishes up this creep wave, he's going somewhere else, possibly to the safe lane. He's going to try to get a triple kill.
Zai's preparing for mid already. So Universe can go towards the mid lane shot, but with Laguna Blade from Sumail, mid one's already sitting at, well, he's like 4/5 of his health. He does have the raindrops to give him a little bit of extra protection. Size, thanks to that Observer Ward he's planted down, making the most out of this vision advantage. Because it's nighttime, mid one doesn't see up far enough. It really is restricted vision in the mid lane for him.
Yeah. And because I placed that ward there, they don't have the same problem at all. So he knows exactly when Razor comes forward, if he needs to actually go for the gank. And I think he's just reading the situation, because maybe they haven't seen the Sand King in a while, they just don't fear the threat. And another ward going down behind the top tower. So both wards just committed to helping to win the lanes better, and that's a good choice when EG does have the slightly better lane matchups.
But you look at the bottom lane, like you want a bigger indication. You got Arteezy and Crit hiding behind the tier 1 tower while KheZu was creep skipping. YapzOr keeps himself hidden off the map. Sumail will pump in towards the mid tower, and he wants to spam out, having an Arcane Rune, just using his 1 point in Fiery Soul for the extra attack.
That's the way to go. Push out the lane, prevent Razor from being able to chase you down with Static Link. It stops ganks as well. It's just a really safe place to be for Sumail.
KheZu's trying to cut his way through. He's trying to stop Arteezy from just having an easy defense, but here's your first rotation. It's Universe, the bottom lane Dream Call on the KheZu. Remember, he's low. He wants to reach the side shop and pick up his Arcane Boots. He's got the money for it. Doesn't want to have to lose this. He's going to get in range in time, so he'll have his Arcane Boots. Try and break free with a Kraken. It won't happen.
That wasn't that bad. I'm really glad you pointed out the Arcanes, because that kind of was just salvation for him. He gives gold and experience to his opponents, but not losing any gold himself honestly not terrible. He's behind levels compared to Puck, but for that being the first Dreamco rotation, they only got a level 4 offlane hero. I don't think he's too upset.
Mid lane, Puppy starts to lead seed onto Samael, who will back up. This observer ward that was planted down is just seeing so much in the mid lane.
Yeah, it's a great place. It's very, not often dewarded as well. Most players place it close around the mid lane, but it spots so much for how Secret might want to pressure Lina, because they know that in a 1v1, Lina is going to dominate the Razor if he doesn't let him get close. So if they just stop the supports from getting into position to upset that advantage, then Sumail just keeps having a Sumail level game. And right now he's top of the charts last hits.
This game from MP feels very, very similar to the last. Difference is he's not having to buy an early cloak and sell it. But this top lane, like he's sitting at 2,500 net worth, still 500 behind the leaders.
Yeah,
just expected a little bit more to come out from the Phantom Assassin, but he hasn't had a lot of help. That help is now arriving in the form of Puppy.
Yeah, again, the hero's not very good at the laning stage. There's some matchups where you're strong against like low armor int heroes mid lane, but Puck can just phase shift dodge every single dagger, which offsets any harass he can do other than jumping in and right clicking. Just he's trying to get crits now to lower his HP, so maybe him and Puppy can kill him, but the chances are just so low. And he also has to worry about being out harassed by the range hero, so it's like he has to buy regen and HP and damage, and Puck can just focus on normal Puck items, doesn't mess up his item build at all, and he just has the lane advantage. Just really tough for PA to do this 1v1.
Surprising mid one starting this rotation. Kezu isn't level 6, so maybe EG feel confident enough to push in and go for the kill, but here comes mid one, Plasterfield out Arteezy, retreating back to the tier 1 tower, so mid one reveals his position. Soaking up the experience as well. Kezu, yeah, you see mid one moving away. He's making sure Kezu can have the Ravage. That does exist, but EG, they go the opposite direction. They head towards the top lane, Zion Universe together. Dream Call, no epicenter, but it's a level 3 Burrow Strike, so they've got the initiation range up there if they want it.
And it might seem like a weird time for mid one to shift over, but because he got the 6 there, EG knows that they couldn't take a fight there, because if they do, there's a high chance it's a Ravage into a kill on somebody important. So they lose the tower, they're going to lose some advantage there. Definitely a negative against Treat, so pretty good for Secret, but they still are losing their lanes generally.
Mid lane, Zai, oh, nice grab. He's actually pulling Zai closer towards the tier 1 tower. Yamsor, the attack was coming from behind, a quick little invis, and there's no money from Yamsor. He always gets greedy. Dream Coil into mid one, Light Striker Ray's going to connect, and then just Laguna Blade delete him. Zai critted up by MP, has to Burrow Strike up into the Radiant side of the river, so he will survive.
Not the best place to get gone on his Razor, the middle of the rivers. There's just no good escapes, and yeah, Puck with a great rotation to guarantee that kill. So the people he's going to probably continue targeting, if possible, are basically everybody but Tide. Tide is a hard kill, but the other guys are easily, you can deal with them, especially with a little bit of nuke follow-up. So Secret's kind of on the same path this game. If they get BKBs, they're definitely going to be strong for a period of time, but the problem is that on the other hand, they're kind of in a similar place. They've got to worry about their opponent's BKBs.
That's easy. Just walking it onto Kezu. Even able to take the kill on the big Satyr, which Kezu committed Gush to get rid of. Puppy's trying to defend the top lane. He leashed a little bit of experience. Support is on the way, is not in the form of mid one. Still trying to build towards his drums. This is the Team Secret special. This is why they didn't have that detection in the middle lane before. Yapsor tries to rush the urn as opposed to going for the detection. Puts a lot more pressure on Puppy to give vision, but now Samael moves the top lane as well. Puppy able to see Zai on the other side of the tree line, so Yapsor goes into the classic little juke spot so close that he can grab Zai, pulling him back into the trees. Puppy didn't actually cut the root off. He's also lost a large portion of his trees. Zai's retreating, Burrow Strike's available, so even if MP wants to Phantom Strike forward, he won't get enough. He's just hoping for the crits. Siphoning, daggering forward. But they're not achieving anything from either side on this top lane.
I mean, the Secret lineup, again, it's similar to the one last game, and it's reminding me a lot of how their engagements went. Their ability to initiate and secure a kill is kind of iffy. They didn't have detection there, so that means they were relying on Puppy's hit, but even if that hit, that's still only like a 0.4 second root. So he would still go invis afterwards. Like, their ability to secure these kills are difficult. Like, this is a very standard Puppy thing. Grab a lineup that is sometimes difficult to execute, and that is certainly what we're seeing here.
Yeah, they need to make things a lot easier for themselves. As you said, those BKBs will do it, but right now the money advantage still belongs to EG. It's about 2,000 net worth for 12 minutes in. It's not massive, but it's the fact that most of that money is put into the 3 big cores of Evil Geniuses. Samael feels the slow pace of the game, is already looking towards going directly for a Bloodstone. No extra control items. You've got Universe with his Blink Dagger now completed, and he's looking for a Eul Scepter after that. We saw that in game 1. Great in controlling.
That's the right items to deal with the problems for sure.
Yeah.
And because
Bottom
Razor...
lane, Kezu's in trouble. He'll have to commit Ravage if he wants to survive this. In fact, he won't survive this at all. The damage output is just way too high with Arteezy and Samael.
I mean, Sumail's already got plus 43 damage with his right clicks, and he's got a passive ult. They're going to
mid one TP'd over.
I guess.
Yapzor wants to crack at this. Light Strike Array, he'll dodge it. Now the static link. Lena's going to fall. Mid one will take his life. Can look towards Arteezy with a gust as well as a slow. They need to have another control. You don't have the telekinesis up, and Arteezy relents without this tier 1 tower. Support can't reach him fast enough.
That was really well done to kill the Lina there. She is still very vulnerable to physical damage, and she didn't buy any HP items yet, no point boosters, so definitely easily killable at that point.
But Arteezy moves quickly. TP's off the bottom lane, goes towards the mid, tries to add pressure, and forces a rotation out from Kezu.
I do really wish that Secret would turn this Ravage into something, though. They've been putting Kezu in the safe lane, or the off lane, and he's getting farmed, but it's not really the same as Bristleback. He's definitely easier to kill. And instead, I kind of just wish they would maybe rotate, try to take a fight with it, like maybe have Kezu on the top lane when they go on that Sand King instead of the opposite. Because we haven't seen a lot of output from him.
Pyro Strike is nice. Yapzor picking up Zai once more. Going to return Pyro Strike. Cancelling off the Sandstorm. Where is that Ravage? The Ravage will pop. Arteezy hit on it. Zai not done, but MP able to get the crit. Rock will drop. Guna Blade. They're trying to kill off Yapzor. Unsuccessful. Yapzor will turn around. Pyro Strike on Samael. They're trying to cancel off a large portion of this damage. But Zai's back to the world of living. He buys back for it. Moving in deeper. They need to set up on MP, and they're able to get it. Razor, mid one can't survive. One more attack from Universe will do it. Mid one on the run. He can potentially deny himself the edges. It won't happen. Universe will reach him in time. A double kill for Universe. You did commit the buyback on the Sand King, but you still got a 2-for-4 trade.
Yeah, Kezu misread the Ravage timing there. I think he needed to press it. He for sure could have pressed it earlier, which would have made the whole fight a little simpler, but I think he needed to run for it as soon as that fight started and spam that button. Take damage, let your Kraken Shell proc off the silence, and throw the Ravage out. And that could have set up the fight a little better. It looked good initially for Secret, but ultimately EG had more damage and plowed through him.
Kind of surprising too, like when you commit Laguna Blade to kill off the Rubik and that doesn't succeed at that point, like at least my mind swung and said, hey, Team Secret have actually got a real good chance in this one, but hitting only one person with a Ravage, having to end with some lucky crits, Phantom Assassin being forced into the fights before she has any major items up and running. You've actually got MP.
He's going to Hood this game.
That is, yeah, he's actually going for the full one as well. So Hood, maybe you do get your Desolator Rush. It just comes on the back of having a Hood too. Yeah,
and maybe that was his thought last game. He's like, well, I needed magic resistance, but I need BKB, so I'll cloak BKB, but then when BKB runs out, you're worthless. So this way, it's less expensive by far than a BKB. It only costs 1,700. He can use the barrier block, and then he can just hopefully buy a damage item afterwards, because that is consistently the problem with PA. Or maybe he's just using this to dodge Vlads, skip Vlads, stick with the Hood, and then go BKB. I don't know, but hopefully not. That would be a little bit redundant.
EG's about to add pressure towards the tier 2 tower on the top lane. They smoked up looking for an opening up here, but did not find one. Team Secret were all on the southern side of the map, but now Team Secret slowly make their way up. Mid 1 and Yapzor will reveal themselves in the mid, and well, they're too late now. This tier 2 tower is gone. There's an observed ward behind the tower. Team Secret will not be taking this engagement.
Yeah, there's no way.
It's just how far does EG pressure this? You're 16 minutes in. Obviously, you can just rotate from lane to lane. Chaotic Offering is down for 28 seconds. They're not even looking for the fights. Yeah, taking towers without having Chaotic Offering up is intimidation.
But Secret knows that they didn't have Ravage #1, and they're really far behind in terms of net worth. So they 100% can't fight without Ravage. It's their best disable. It's their best team fight ability. That's what they need to make sure that they can take a good one. And they just don't want to fight around a tier 2 tower like that. That tower is even hard to defend if your opponents have good vision, and they can wrap around from the side, plus there's no Blink Dagger yet on Sand King, so maybe it was possible, but if Puck jumps in, puts a good Dream Coil on 3 heroes, it's probably a lost fight for Secret without Ravage. So they'll wait till their next crucial items finish. Maybe they'll get their pipe on Tide in time, and that would be a great timing for them to try to take a fight against EG.
Yeah, and that timing can coincide with potentially the Solar Crest, which has been built up on mid one. You just got yourself double medallions as well. Puppy is looking to be building into one of them, and the other one is going to be on the Warlock. The current medallion on Team Secret is on the Razor.
Razor's still very vulnerable to magic damage, though. He may want to go BKB or pipe himself just to get his magic resistance up, but even if he does that, he still has to worry about the right clicks. Yeah. And there's a lot coming in this game. It's Puck, it's Drow, and especially it's Lina. And once Sumail picks up this plus 50 damage perk, this guy's going to be hitting almost harder than Drow Ranger is with this right click. In fact, he will hit harder. He's already doing the same damage. And it's just going to get better when he casts spells.
Plus 47 for every range hero, and the only one which doesn't get it is Zai. Even the Warlock. The Warlock is hitting a 69 plus 47. It's nice for crit.
He's most likely going to be waving his arms around, sewing people, standing in place. But,
people.
But everybody else on EG is getting a lot of profit from it this game, even more than EG did last game.
Team Secret looking for a gank. The only target they've really got is going to be crit. If Yapsor can close the distance to get the telekinesis, they do have a chance for it, and see if they can bait EG into a fight. But Yapsor, he does get the crit. Pick him up, throw him back in. Mid one, static linking straight away. The rock will drop the space. It has to be created. Stolen up perfectly from Yapsor. The return chaotic offering, combining up with the Ravage. Now a single Genius is in trouble. Mid one, the double kill. RTD trying to bring down the Razor, able to do so with the help of the gold. Burrow strike from Zai, creating space into the epicenter. MP needs life, needs to survive. And he jumped forward, he's able to do so, but Arteezy will kill him off. A point-blank range arrow to the knee. They'll start retreating. Kezu running up the river. Samal's got the light strike array, but Kezu picks up a haste rune, the perfect rune for escaping. He will be away.
What an even fight there. I mean, almost equal gold change, almost equal damage done. Experience change is the same. That was basically just everybody using their cooldowns, but insane for Yapsor to steal Inferno Golem there. That was exactly what he needed to happen to make that fight go a little better. Just offsetting the team fight disruption provided. The Ravage looked great, but they just couldn't quite kill off the Lina and other heroes. But it was very, very equal. So now we may see a bit of stagnation, a little bit more split pushing with movement. No, EG just wants to take Roche. They've got so much damage.
Well, there's no Ravage up, there's no Overgrowth up, and there's no way Chaotic Offering's going to be off cooldown for Yapsor. Of course, they don't have it themselves, they don't have Epicenter, but Dream Call may just be enough. And the amount of damage they've got, mid one's looking, but he doesn't really want to go into this one just yet. Neither does the Phantom Assassin. He doesn't have a big items, but yep, the Scout, Burrow Strike, Zai goes in, the Dream Call is perfect universe with a 3-man silence, catching Rubik on the back lines as well. Tidehunter trying to beat that front line tank, but they don't care. They move the back line. Zai will 4K to the attacks up the hill from Sumail. He's just pumping into Team Secret from a bad position, but it still may be enough. Living Armor and Upheaval, they can't do enough. Razor is falling and will go down. The Ancient deny him in the middle of the fight. It may not matter. A kill is a kill. Universal grab another one too. Back to the tier 2 tower. And MP, the only one to survive. EG claim both Roshan, Aegis into Sumail, and 4 heroes from Team Secret.
That could not have been worse for Secret there. It looked like they could poke, but instantly EG was ready for it. They punished it with the Burrow Strike, and they followed up with the level 4 Upheaval, which made it so hard for Secret to get out. And the worst part out of everything that just rubbed it in their faces was Rubik also died at the end, and he still had Infernal Golem. He was holding the cooldown, he wanted to save it, but now that he's dead, he loses it. So almost everything Secret had going for them was lost, but at least they've got Ravage up again. But boy, did they need to get value out of it.
Yeah, they really, really do. And in the last fight, like the big one they won in mid lane, it was basically the double Ravage because of Yapsor. The question is, can they get another good engagement like this? You've now got EG racking up the money, 15 Bloodstone charges on the level 15 Lina, almost Blink Dagger completed as well, so maneuverability is going to go through the roof, and Arteezy is rapidly approaching the Silver Edge. PA's life is going to become very, very difficult, not to mention the fact that Zai is basically doing more Ravages in the fights than we're seeing from Kezu. His Burrow Strikes are connecting on 3+ heroes in every single engagement.
Yeah, I mean, Yapsor did steal it 2 fights ago, but since then it's been so much harder. When EG gets to initiate, triple silence people and your Dream Coil, it's a really bad position to be in for Rubik. So Secret's kind of grouping up here. They're thinking about defending it, and they will.
Yeah, they have to hold on to as many towers as possible and give more space for MP to finally finish this Desolator. 21 minutes in, he's still trying to finish up the last Mithril Hammer.
I do like that he's going for it over the BKB, though. I mean, he's definitely farther behind by a lot compared to last game, but this is the only way that they start winning fights. They need somebody that can gap close, put damage on the right heroes during the Ravage, and hopefully get kills. If they don't get kills during the Ravage, it's going to be EG snowballing, so see if they can punish in that moment.
This Radiant Sentry could cause a lot of problems for Puppey. He's trying to sit behind the tower, living armor, anything you can do to just delay this fight. But if they don't get a Sentry Ward in front of their own tower, they're not going to be able to get rid of that vision, and Puppey won't be able to get a good overgrowth off, and potentially gets initiated on by Sumail. But they hold the line for the moment. PA is still farming jungle underneath the Observe Ward of EG. So EG are fully aware that MP is not at this fight.
They do know, but I don't think they really care. If he's farming jungle, he's actually not getting resources that rapidly. It might even be better for him to go push the lane, but that's also a dangerous thing for him because all it would take is 2 TPs, either maybe like a Lina and a Sand King or a Lina and a Puck, and he could easily get killed in the lane. So he's forced to do this slower farming speed stuff, and it's really affecting his net worth. He's got 6.6k.
Yeah.
Like, the Puck has 2,000 more gold than he does. It's just such a bad position to be in for Secret.
These mid ones reaching a point where he will be difficult for EG to deal with, but then again, they're kiting him so hard. We saw exactly the same combination in the first series, and it's not even just the Dream Coil control, it's the upheaval and the cold arrows from the Drow Ranger. You just can't run inside of that, and when you have a melee hero, a Razor who needs to keep the movement speed to get in close, these don't exist. It's too much. Puppey gonna break the smoke. Zai reveals him. So Puppey, well, he'll take it for the team once more.
Yeah, very easy kill there. Only dead for 27 seconds, one of the benefits to him being low level, but that means it's easier for them to take the tower. Instantly, Secret needs to show up and defend this, at least until the tree's up, and then try to take a fight if possible. But still no second Mithril Hammer. 200 more gold for PA, but he finds a DD at least.
Yeah, but EG aren't gonna fight it. Sumail TP's back towards the mid lane, and that double damage rune, all it's going to end up doing is helping MP farm faster. That's it.
He will not complain about that right now, though. This is not a bad thing to have.
Anything which allows him to survive. So the pipe is on KZU, he's looking for a 4-star. Mid one is approaching his BKB. Still just under 2,000 gold away from reaching that one. Yapzor is hoping he can reach a Blink Dagger, but there's that silver edge from Arteezy. He took a little bit longer than I was expecting him to reach it, but he has got it nonetheless.
Now, once this Deso does get picked up, let's look for some vulnerable heroes on EG. Arteezy has a stupid amount of armor, so maybe Warlock, Lina especially is their goal, and Puck too if they're stunned. So there's a couple of heroes that if they get ravaged, Secret can kill them. It's definitely possible, especially if we see an overgrowth fall-up. So it all still comes down to the team fight, despite the gold advantage that EG has. But the downside for Secret is that EG is super good at positioning. They know how to play their leads, oftentimes without failing. So Secret's got to make something amazing happen here, where they force mistakes out of EG.
This haste rune from Zai, sort of like forcing mistakes out of EG. Right now, they're still trying to repair the momentum in the lanes. Zai with the haste rune smokes up, pushes out the mid lane, runs up towards the top lane, pushes that out as well. And meanwhile, getting so much money that he almost has his own 4-star. Blink, Force, and Tranquils on a level 14 SK.
It's a really good advantage. So he's pushing the lanes, which prevents his opponents from going multiple places, from finding kills, because now all the creep waves are always in front of their base. It also keeps the creep waves where the EG wards are, which means they always know where Secret are. And then they can just avoid them in a 5v5 fight, because they know they have more items right now. That means they're going to farm faster. That means they can just delay this game until they have Aegis, or a really good opportunity to punish Secret. So EG is just in such a commanding position right now. They're controlling the map perfectly, and they're just split pushing better. And Secret's forced to 5-man, because they can't get picked off more.
And it looks like they're going to try and push EG to TP back. If they can get some good vision in the back lines, right now the Observe Wards, you got Puppey coming in close with both Ult and Sentry, but he's not committing it to the tier 2 tower. In fact, they added the momentum, but they've already fallen back. KZU wants to defend. He wants his Blink Dagger before the fight. There's still these critical items that Team Secret need in order to catch EG unaware.
I love the Blink idea versus Force. They need something that's going to give them better initiation than defensive. Force better defensively, Blink much better offensively. They need amazing offense.
Does Puppey get the courier?
To get the Ravage combo.
No, he doesn't. I think he's looking for heroes more than courier.
He did spot it briefly, but yeah, kind of difficult for him to get the kills. He might wait for it to fly out again. Most likely, again, just trying to find EG heroes, because there aren't that many wards on the map. The one that is existing by the Ancients is almost dead, so Secret's about to go dark, and this is part of the reason that they're getting screwed over on farm, is that they have to TP back to base all the time whenever EG gets close to the base. And if they have to do that every time, that's time that they get pushing lanes, farming camps, things like that.
Well, MP's using the time as best as he possibly can. They keep buying out when they do this, however. Like mid one, he's bought most of his BKB. It's like they're just going to assume that they can defend if they lose one hero, but make sure you don't lose any money if you do die.
I really don't. I think this is fine. Like I don't think that if he dies and buys back, it's not going to win them the game. They need as much value as possible, and maybe even just to ensure that he doesn't lose gold if he does get killed.
Secret are coming. They smoked up. They were well away from any vision of evil geniuses, but no one is farming up the top lane. Zai is farming up the mid, but the closest one to them is Universe. So Yapsaw, no Blink Dagger on him, but Universe on the other side of the tree line. If they can see him, they won't. In fact, it's Universe who've got a glimpse of Yapsaw. They understand the Team Secret and are on top of their own shrine.
Yeah, it's very difficult for them to initiate here without a blink of their own, because Puck could easily interrupt that right before it goes through.
It's like they're trying to catch someone unawares, just farming in the jungle. It's like, oh, hi, here's a freebie now. Let's just back that up. Create more space.
I mean, on the bright side, Puppy did get some deep wards down in the enemy area of the map, especially I love the one near the tier 1. It'll spot EG heroes TPing top to either gank that lane or to set up for a gank. So gank the lane or push it, excuse me. So Secret maybe can make better decisions about when to farm efficiently.
Oh, that's easy.
Just letting them know.
With the Silver Edge and double damage rune, yeah, it's just a reminder to Tidehunter that Arteezy is a hero in this game. But the Tide's 100 gold away from his Blink Dagger. That's why they're sending him down to these camps now.
Yeah, he just needs 100 more gold, but Arteezy doesn't want to let him farm. He knows he's thinking about it, trying to finish that item up.
And Yapsaw's actually going to take the farm on the top lane. Yeah, here comes Tidehunter. He can help him out with the Fade Bolt, and then they just anchor smash it down. And Kezu now has Blink Dagger. Yapsaw almost has his as well. Like, he's at 1936, and now it's Yapsaw's priority.
Yeah, and I think he can do this decently. Now that those wards are there, it's easier to see if enemies are going to TP to the top lane to set up for a gank. And he's pretty safe doing this too, so good position to be in for him.
I'm still not certain that, like, I know EG are getting overall more net worth, but it feels like they're giving space for Team Secret to get the items that they can then contest some of the fights. Now, there's a lot of great items coming in for EG. I'm not going to sugarcoat this at all. Like, they are looking absolutely fantastic for almost everything they've picked up. But it does feel like some breathing room for Team Secret.
Yeah, I understand why you feel that way, but I think EG does not want to gamble here. Taking this one means for sure Secret's knocked out, and they move on to the Grand Finals, if I'm not mistaken. So they just want to wait until they take Roche. It's by far the safer way. They've been kind of poking around, looking for opportunities, getting wards down in good places, but they don't want to mess around at all. They're only going high ground with an Aegis at this point because their opponent's team fight is too good. You don't want to mess around.
Well, Roshan is up and available for both sides. There's your secondary Blink Dagger. Rubik buying it. Has smoke in his backpack, so Yapsaw, if they do want to try and initiate with the double Blink Daggers, they're capable of doing so. Issue is MP is currently farming underneath an Observer Ward, so EG have a lot of information. They commit 2 sentries around Roshan, looking for Team Secret's aggressive vision. But as you said, Puppy had a deep run before, and he's got a lot of vision, which is on the very far side away from Roshan. So while you may not get the real-time vision, you're definitely going to get the information of how many players from EG are around Roshan.
So mid one will push out mid. He's trying to do this invisibly.
Can they smoke in?
I mean,
there's living armor on MP under the cover of smoke. They don't have an opportunity yet.
They have
Observer Ward is down, so now they see nicely.
And they'll probably assume that the
heroes... Oh, the jump in, Zai, Burrow Strike. It only goes on top of mid one. Quickly jumps away, but MP gets the crit, dropping Zai down to half. This time, Kezu, the Ravage will be committed. It catches onto crit. They need to bring down crit as well before that Warlock Rock will drop, but they can't move out. MP with the double kill, but Arteezy pumping out the damage. They need a little bit more, and they've got it. MP will fall, and Team Secret, Puppy has no trees to hide on, living armor or not. He can't go invis in time. 3 heroes, however, from EG. That is not as many as they really wanted to lose.
Yeah, they didn't kill all the perfect heroes. They killed all the supports, but the big damage dealers, the ones that can easily take Roche, are still alive. So it's like a repeat of the fight earlier.
You've got Yapsaw to scout out with Illusionary Orb. Mid one at his BKB. He will commit it. They want the kill on Arteezy. Mid one's going to steal all the damage with the help of Yapsaw. They held him in position. Mid one, the damage from Samael is so high. Yapsaw with the Illusionary Orb, however, will end up getting a kill. He'll get stunned up by the Light Strike Array. He needs more time. He can't get out the pit. Can he play the Fog of War around the trees? Samael! He can't finish the job. Yapsaw, living armor. He doesn't jump to the orb. He jukes Samael as well. He went left. The orb went right. And Samael had a choice.
Roshan, so biased, dude. That bash on Sumail kept Yapsaw alive. That might buy them time to defend this now. They're back up, only missing Razor, but Arteezy's still dead from 46. And a pretty good fight for Secret,
on the Burrow strike, they've gone in again on the Treant Protector. No overgrowth available. The dust will reveal, but MP jumps forward. The rock, it's still there. K2 reduces the damage with the anchor smash, but Samel on the back lines. He needs to get up the ramp, but then YapzOr again! He's in the back lines! He caught him in the back! MP, he'll get up the hill. A quick jump up. They'll trigger the shrine, looking for the regeneration. Mid one, stealing the damage away from Zai. Zai not getting attacked fast enough, but YapzOr, he looks for the kill. He body blocks up crit. He's got Fate Bolt and Dragon Slave. The damage is enough to allow Mid one to capitalize on the situation.
Puck's gonna try to punish him though, but he's got so much magic resistance.
Oh, is he gonna jump? The silence is actually holding YapzOr. The Golem's trying to help out. MP and K2 in the meantime, they're inside of Roshan, going for Roshan. Zai will jump in. Sandstorm, where's your reveal? I'm not seeing a Sentry Ward anywhere near close enough to it, but he will still fall out of the pit outside the Sandstorm. The Golem will time out in 12 seconds time for the bigger one, catching MP on the back lines. He needs this heal. He needs to stay alive, but he cannot do it. The stun's too good from EG in mid one. That attack from Samel, it'll be enough. Reaching up the hill, no miss chance. He also blinked up to ensure the kill nonetheless. So two big cores, the big ones from Team Secret are down, and finally EG will claim Roshan.
At least Secret made him work for it though. If that was just easy, if YapzOr didn't make those insane plays and get the picks that he did, then it would have been just Roche into big gold advantage. But because that fight went decent for Secret, they have gotten some swing back towards their advantage. In fact, YapzOr is really farmed now. He killed Lina by himself. He got 1,000 gold for that, a 7-kill streak or something insane. They're within striking distance here, and EG's got to be a little worried at this point, but I think they're still confident.
But they can't push straight away. Because the fight took so long, Ravage is already back up again. So Arteezy can show himself on the bottom lane, forcing the tier 2 tower. But you have both Overgrowth, YapzOr's got the Blink Dagger, he's got the double nukes. Having both Dragon Slave and level 2 Fade Bolt means they can pop him quickly. The reveal's already on Arteezy, combining it with the Gush. Puppy doesn't want to commit his Overgrowth just yet, but on the back lines, it is actually PA getting caught out. MP can't get close enough. Now Arteezy can just BKB and move forward to the tier 2 tower. Puppy Life Strike to Ray, takes away the trees, but he's still got enough to remain invis, throws out the Overgrowth, keeping Lina away from the rest of his team, starts his TP, the Gust does not cancel that, and YapzOr, he needs to get back into safety. The Dream Call is committed, Samel will bring him down. The Rubik will have buyback. They don't have the creep wave with them, and Ravage is still held by Team Secret, but EG really showing their strength. Yeah,
Secret making a bit of a crucial error there. As they went in on Arteezy, they had PA TP into the Shrine instead, and as a result, he got caught. Here's the fight from before, with Rubik making the pretty insane plays, checking for items, seeing what he can work with here.
This is his point of view as well. The control, the vision game, just how much they had.
And in fact, Arteezy might have needed to pop BKB there. YapzOr was able to get the kill after mid one goes down, and very, very punished here. It just looked like the easiest kill ever.
I want to see this, Duke. So he actually sees Samel get stunned. Illusionary Orbs up one way, blinks the other, and it's just one guess or the other. And Samel, you guessed wrong.
But that last fight went rough because MP TP'd into the Shrine. He got killed because he doesn't have BKB still. And that was all what they were dealing with Arteezy. So for them to even guarantee the Arteezy kill, they would have had to force Ravage and hope that Arteezy doesn't BKB in that small moment. So it was just a bit of a rough fight for Secret. And when you're behind, you cannot miss small windows like that and lose heroes for nothing. Or it's just going to get worse and worse, and the game will be closed.
Yep. For now, EG, it's the safety. They want pickoffs. They want real clean initiations if possible. I'm still waiting to see if YapzOr finishes the Aghanim Scepter. This is his build. The only thing which he doesn't actually have in this is the Urn. He has the Blink and the Drums, but sitting 1,100 gold away from having Aghanims, some real fantastic abilities to steal, and it's more the cooldown time for YapzOr.
Yeah, that could be really huge. If he can steal Burrow Strike, or, I mean, there's a couple skills he could steal that would be amplified by his Aghanim Scepter as well. Lina ulti, Puck ulti, Sand King Burrow Strike. Even the Warlock Golem steal would be fantastic. It could change a lot. And at this point, mid one's actually getting semi-viable. He's felt like he's got a decent KDA considering the circumstances, but he's felt difficult to profit from in team fights. But now that he's almost got Blade Mail and he just picks up the 400 health perk, his HP's in a point now where he's got good armor, he's got good survivability against magic nukes, and he can reflect a lot of damage if he does get focused by EG.
So it's possible that EG actually end up killing themselves. Samel will have to be a little bit more careful about that when he's going all out for the Daedalus. It doesn't even look like it's a Bloodthorn. He's actually going. He's actually going for the Daedalus.
It's the way to go. Bloodthorn, obviously the utility is good, but you don't need needed against heroes that have BKBs. He just wants as much damage as possible to profit from the Drow aura, and his build is perfect for that. He still has survivability problems though, so that means if for Secret to win a fight, if they want it to be more straightforward, kill Lina before BKB is popped. Downside is, he's still got Aegis.
Yeah. Unless they can wait that one out. You got another... Well, it's only another 50 seconds, and then the Aegis Immortal will time out. So this is that issue we're talking about where EG, you do win the fight, you do get Roshan, but the Aegis Immortal isn't going to give you enough. But you have the cheese on the Draw Ranger, so you still have something from your victory in the pit.
PA does have her BKB finished finally as well. Very important here. And there's the smoke from EG. Kind of an interesting timing, I think. They're trying to exploit the moment that Secret plans to leave the base or take a fight as soon as the Aegis is almost off cooldown. Or almost dead, that is.
Team Secret are 5-man hugging inside the base. They actually accidentally triggered their middle shrine, so they'll only have 2 shrines for the push.
They're trying to poke here.
That's bait. That's bait. Are you going to take it? Do you realize the shields are still up? Universe is ready to jump in. A 3-man coil. He's not going to orb and silence. Instead, Team Secret just hold their ground for the moment. They BKB, in fact, on MP. He burnt it. Expecting initiation from Evil Geniuses, which never came. That was his 10-second BKB.
Yeah, he was too worried about that. I mean, if he got chain stunned there, absolutely could have been killed with a follow-up from like Laguna Blade. So I don't blame him there. I think he had to do that. It's hard to know in the moment if they're going to go in or not.
It seemed like a suicide time as well. They smoke up. This just happens 5 seconds after the Aegis Immortal has been reclaimed. So Arteezy is now, well, now Arteezy, you got yourself a proper kill chance here. If they can catch up to him. Arteezy's still on the run. They need detection. There's a sentry ward on Puppey. They saw him quickly head down south, but sentry ward goes, and we are in nighttime.
Nighttime was active. They didn't quite spot him. Very, very close to him, but didn't get it. So BKB lost. They traded for a Puck ultimate. It's off cooldown already, though. So it was a good grab by Universe, but EG didn't feel fully comfortable, and I think that was the right move. They're ahead, but you don't take slightly dangerous fights when you're ahead like this.
Yep. And as long as Yapsel doesn't die, that 60 gold per minute is eventually going to give him his Aghanim Scepter.
I mean, yeah.
Eventually. If he could also not get caught out by Evil Geniuses, he's in a real bad spot. Blink Dagger's available, but Arteezy's going to see him, and, well, Yapsel staying in the trees. Is he actually going to hide this one out? Maybe he didn't see him because, again, the nighttime vision is so restrictive.
I think they saw him head up there. They've got amazing ward vision on EG's side, and in fact, the supports really need to put a sentry down to break the observer. Oh, I'm sorry, they have a gem.
Gem on Kazu.
Well, now that that's gone, it's pretty much impossible for EG to high ground. Not that they would even bother. They're just going to play safe like this, pressure out the lanes, make sure they have amazing wards in places that Secret is likely to be, and then wait until Roche is up, take that, and then go high ground. But, you know, if a good team fight or a free kill presents themselves, they'll take that as well.
Where are you going, Puppey? Where are you going? The last strike of rain, they will see him, and Puppey will fall down.
Easy pick up there for Lina and his damage output. He hits disgustingly hard right now.
It's like Puppey was trying again to do that, like the same play we saw him do with the Observe wards on the top lane in Game 1. Just get as much deep vision as possible so they can play better outside their own base to stop this chokehold that EG have, because EG are just taking all the resources on the map. They're over 31,000 in experience, they're over 25,000 in the gold advantage. Everything is just rolling in the way of EG. While Team Secret are being starved in their base, but they're like the Blackfish. They can survive if they wait out long enough, but eventually they'll lose if they don't get an opening. Draw Ranger? No.
Playing around. Definitely something you want to do sometimes. Try to get them to pop BKBs.
MP's not even showing it. He's showing himself on bottom lane, keeping that bottom lane out.
This is actually kind of bad. He doesn't have a TP, so that means getting to the top lane would take at least like 6 to 8 seconds.
But EG aren't finding the opening. Without that Observe ward vision, it's a lot more difficult for them to make the play.
Absolutely. Mid one queuing up a Blink Dagger. Be kind of interesting. You can jump in and actually static link the best target, which is honestly at this point probably Lina. She's going to do way more damage than the Drow Ranger will be doing.
It's crunch time for Yapsel. He has the money for the full Aghanim Scepter now. I'm wondering if the courier...
Oh, he bought it. Well...
Oh, he'd actually...
He still has surplus for a buyback if needed.
He buys the 3-1. He'd be like, okay, boys. We need to group up a 5-man protection for Yapsel to go get his Aghanim Scepter.
I'm not sure if he's going to buy it. He still has buyback if he dies here. But I feel he'll finish it. I think he's a good enough player. He's got tons of HP. He's got the right skills. Axe could definitely change the game.
The last time a hero went out there, it was Puppey and he died.
Yeah, but he got spotted by the ward. He's going to hang out in the area for a while, and EG got the fish farm.
They're coming down. It's like, boys, escort me. Secret Service, protect the Rubik at all costs.
Yeah. I assume he will buy this here.
Yeah, he is. He goes directly to the secret shop. Full butterfly is now done over on Arteezy.
That's a great pickup. It's going to make it really hard for Phantom Assassin to kill him. And Razor can do it decently, has better value against him, but definitely won't be a simple thing.
You also got the plate mail purchase over on Kezu. So they got a couple of items on that little smoke run. But it is really like the situation. You feel it from Team Secret. When you smoke, not to gank, you smoke so you can move outside of your base and buy items. This is the situation they're in.
I mean, they must be so scared, right? Because there can be wards all over the place. Yes, they have a gem, but they don't have time to look around, de-ward, and also make some movement on the map. Because if EG is waiting in that moment, it could be really bad. With that said, do they have more smokes? I would hope so, because Roche is almost up. And that's where they're going to need to go next.
That's the one thing we can't check anymore. It got removed with Source 2. Actually, it got removed after Source 2 came in. But Roshan's still another minute away from spawning. In fact, sorry, corrected. 46 seconds away from spawning, thanks to our cool features.
And looks like Mid One finally decided to upgrade his boots. Definitely too late for this. Kind of better late than never, but should have done it earlier.
He might have been worried, like going for something like BTs might have actually helped them later into the game.
I'm sure that's what it was. He was like, I'll probably want boots to travel mid-game, but then it started going so bad that he couldn't bother upgrading it, and now he's finally done it.
EG are going to 5-man smoke, looking for an opening. Roshan will be spawning up in 18 seconds time, so if they lose this fight, Team Secret do potentially have a way to come back in. I say this potentially. You've got buybacks available for both Samael as well as Universe. And it actually looks like their smoke gank doesn't bear fruit, so they wait for Roshan once more.
And in the meantime, Suck creeps. Get farm, push lanes. Arteezy only throwing Manta Illusions to the top lane because it's a whole lot safer than his hero being there.
Can Secret contest this? They have no vision around Roshan.
It's so hard because basically their window for thinking, I think my opponents are roaching right now is pretty wide. It's hard for them to predict exactly when it is. And EG just does such a good job pushing the lanes. Like, look, those creeps just got high ground in the top lane at the same time that Roche died. That means that for Secret to even leave the base and go up here, if they make a big mistake and EG actually isn't there, they would just take Rax right away. Or they'd get themselves in a perfect position plus vision to for sure get Rax by the time Secret got back. So Secret's kind of just in their base no matter what in these circumstances. The few times that they do smoke out are their opportunities. And maybe they didn't even have a smoke there. Maybe they burned too many on their little scouting missions that it didn't work out for them.
Top lane fight is coming. Arteezy is pushing. Crit for some reason is just admiring. He's waiting to see what the rune is, and it's a double damage rune. Oh yeah. That's what he's waiting for.
Runes are actually so good late game. A lot of players have been talking about just buying late game bottles or still having their bottles. And then with that late game bottle, you just, there's an arcane rune for a hero that it works on really well. Let's go grab it. Oh, a DD rune? Yeah, sure, I'll take an extra 135 damage for free. It's a lot easier to fish for what you want because it's a guaranteed double rune spawn now late game.
Yeah. Well, with that double damage rune, it's in the hands of Samael. They move forward towards the tier 3 tower. Just from range, they can rip apart that tower. Fortifications available from Team Secret, and you have the living armor to bring these buildings back up again. So if EG push, they need to ensure they bring down the tower. But once they at least get the tier 3 tower, it'll open up the shrines for attack as well. They got all the buybacks. Secret have none coming into this fight. Phantom Assassin actually bought the Basher before this fight begins, so she is committing into the engagement. But look at Poppy's position, as well as the Observer Ward. They'd get some decent vision outside Samael. That double damage rune has worn off, but it won't matter. Fortification finally has to kick in, but they have to clean up Samael and Arteezy. Stifling Dagger, anything to force him away from the tower. Even Puppy is showing himself running in very, very far. Universe will jump forward, so the engagement will begin. They commit a couple of abilities, but EG can't snag a proper hit.
That was very scary for Puppy there. Do they have force stats?
They got a plasma field as well. Actually, it's on cooldown. Now it comes off cooldown. Samael trying to bring down the tower. The bash actually onto the Drow Ranger from the Stifling Dagger. The Tele gets a grab. Samael up on the high ground, pumping into mid one. Can't actually get a proper hit. Missing so many times, but Arteezy's doing it. The melee Rax, he just man modes it. So much damage from him. And Samael once more, blinking back in again. Mid one can't really repel him, and now they've actually got this choice Team Secret. Do you want to fight? You've already lost your melee Rax. You need obs and sentries down to make sure that Arteezy can't just slip his way in.
They're trying so hard to bait them into a fight here. Secret's doing a good job of poking and prodding. They will lose a range barracks, but every time they come up, they're taking damage on the way back too. And they had a couple decent opportunities. I mean, if Lina didn't have Aegis, 100% they initiate there twice at least.
Yep.
But because she has Aegis, if they commit and they kill her, and then the Golem comes down, they're going to lose right afterwards.
They're rotating already down to the bottom lane, so they want the maximum extremes in the lane. Split up Team Secret. The top lane's creep wave is already going to cause them problems there. The rest of the time, it's the bottom lane siege. Same as before, rinse and repeat for Evil Geniuses. Arteezy and Sumail, the building murderers. Sumail wants to come in forward. They're cleaning out a couple of trees. Now you're Ravage catching over on 3. Arteezy is low. The rock will drop, creating space, but Arteezy is down. Burrow strike and epicenter from Zai. It's decent damage, but maybe not enough. That's why Sumail needs to do more, but mid-1 stole 224 damage. He'll trigger the Aegis Immortal. They have to get rid of the Golem as well. Upheaval causing issues. MP, they'll focus it together. So the tier 3 tower does fall. Crit will continue to channel. He's only got another 5 seconds left on it. And the pressure will continue again. The buyback did come out from Arteezy.
And BKB was used on Lina, so she's perhaps the vulnerable one, but that was Ravage, so they don't have their ultimates.
Overgrowth. They committed both. YapzOr, the pickup. It's Sumail. You said Lina was the problem one. Zai creates a little bit of space for the Burrow Strike. Catching MP as well. Mid-1. Punterfield doesn't make enough space. Tidehunter trying to retreat, but Arteezy is focusing him down. Silence Kazu. The attack will reach him. They have to jump back in again. You've got a deep universe in very far. YapzOr and mid-1 able to combine together to a gem. It will be a trade-off for a trade-off. In fact, I think that gem actually just stolen. It was Zai's. So EG lost the detection, but Arteezy, he was the main target they're trying to go on, but they jump in further. The stuns on Arteezy. They want more kills. Zai's getting back out again, but the Lacuna Blade. Mid-1 will fall, and they've got more. MP can jump up towards Puppey. Burrow Strike over on Rubik. The Sandstorm giving him the invis to escape back up to the high ground. Mid-1 also buying back. They got issues on top of their tier 4 towers. In fact, I can't say towers plural. They're down to 1.
Secret in a very tense moment, but they did a really good job defending. The YapzOr lift to throw Lina on their cliff makes her retreat path a lot worse. So they were able to take a pretty good fight. With that said, they stepped all Lina's damage, but they couldn't quite kill her. She had less than 200 HP, I believe. And because they didn't finish her off there, it was very tough to chase. And the next cool part of the fight was EG placing a ward on that cliff as they ran out at the top of the ramp, which made it so much easier for EG to do a turn and actually kill Secret as they chased, because that was the moment Secret wanted multiple kills. But it didn't quite work out. It was a little too difficult. And Secret, again, is going to have to go back to turtling. But on the bright side, they only lost 1 Rax. I'm just looking at it and wishing maybe they should have done it on the top Rax before they lost it.
You can also say on the bright side, Evil Geniuses was so far ahead. They had about a 32,000 net worth advantage, and there were so much as heroes. They actually gave, even though it feels almost like an even trade with 1 buyback from each core on either side, a couple of hero picks each way, Team Secret still get more out of it. A Ghost Scepter on the Rubik, another 3,000 gold on YapzOr. He is just raking in the money and approaching his level 25 with the telekinesis range grab, which is what he went for last time. He might be able to pull Lina into a harder position, and this is happening when Team Secret put both the Dro as well as the Lina just down the ramp hitting into the tier 3 towers. He's got the cast range plus the grab distance potentially. Yeah,
it's actually really amazing if you can make it work. It's like a force staff basically, and telekinesis is consistently the way that Secret's initiating, and just throwing him close to their towers is absolutely making the difference. But he's got to hit 25 first.
Yep. That's the challenge. But with the pace this game is going, you wait for a couple of tomes to come up and available for you. You slowly build up. Razor's also reaching level 25 soon, and I'm wondering what he goes. Do you go for the link?
Actually, he wants to go. He wants to hit a static link. Yeah, and I think that's part of the reason the fight's getting a little hard for EG, because despite them having a 30k gold advantage, if you sap 200 damage from the enemy mid hero, then she doesn't hit the same. It's like she doesn't even have a Daedalus. So if they get good initiations and maximum static links without losing their heroes during that period, yeah, they can still win the fight. They pick up, they're going to go for a Heaven's Halberd next on Razor as well. So that way they can stop their opponents from attacking them. That's definitely going to be for Drow Ranger this game.
It still feels like a rough game when you don't have anything which can directly attack into that butterfly.
It is tough.
I suppose you've got a couple of things that can still work for you, but...
Well, MP's going to try to solve that problem. He's queued up a MKB, but he's still 2,400 gold away from it.
He's going to drop his magic wand for this, I assume?
Yeah, easily. Yeah. I would definitely still keep the Hood. I mean, I'm not necessarily the biggest fan of having both Hood and BKB in this game, but over a wand, I think you drop the wand 100%. He's got so much HP, the Hood will pay off once his BKB runs out.
Well, EG, we can go back to the waiting game. Roshan, he potentially spawns up in 12 seconds time, but we'll see how long EG actually have to wait. If it's a quick spawn, then we're going to have ourselves a quick battle. I'm wondering if Team Secret are really looking for that. A refresher orb is being built in for mid one. It's been a while since I've seen a double Eye of the Storm play from Razor. But more importantly, is his BKB timing. He can go for double on that as well. And potentially a secondary static link in the middle of the fight.
Yeah. That could be amazing. With the static link damage steal, he could steal 600 damage. If he links, let's say best case scenario, he links both Lina and the Drow Ranger, steals 600 damage from those guys, EG just doesn't have damage anymore.
He won't have the time though. Roshan just spawned up. So EG, they're moving over, crits right in front of the pit. They'll scout it out and they'll take it quickly.
And even double Eye of the Storm. We've seen the highlight clips. This used to be a very common build for Razor. Considering that it for sure hits, it prioritizes the person you're linked to, that could stack up minus armor really rapidly and actually shred through Lina. She still doesn't have an armor item. She's going MKB now because she has to deal with the evasion on the PA. Maybe a mistake to go Daedalus, in fact.
It gives an option for Team Secret to have a chance to do the damage, but Evil Geniuses, they still hit very, very hard. And they're coming in. The Aegis the Immortal is being given over to Arteezy, so they're protecting their Drow Ranger. So Sumail, with this dangerous build, is still very susceptible. No extra life to be given, but the buyback is still available on the back of BTs.
Yeah, and even Bloodstone's going to respawn them faster. So, and in fact, EG's almost got a full wheel of cheese now. They've got 3, 2 on Warlock and 1 over on the Sand King. So they've got essentially, what, 4 lives?
Didn't realize cheese is coming quarter portions. Team Secret preparing for the bottom lane. Kezu hiding inside the tree lines. Splinter Field comes out, but Arteezy is the Aegis Immortal they put in the front lines. You saw how fast he brought down the top lane. He's going to do exactly the same to the bottom. So you root him up with Puppy's Blink forward. At least stops him from attacking, but it's just too much. They can't engage into him, and this is EG being able to capitalize properly with the Aegis Immortals. Bottom rank's totally gone. The pickup doesn't work onto Arteezy. They force-staff him away.
They felt the moment to go in, they jump in, but the problem was that the Lotus Orb was on Arteezy, which means no static link, and there's nothing they can do to remove that until it runs out. They tried to delay it by using Overgrowth. Oh, I'm sorry, that was actually just a Nature's Skies hit, but it was not enough. I'm glad it wasn't Overgrowth. That would have been way too costly. But this is a really abusable thing you can do with Tree. Blink, and then before you become visible, despite being away from trees, you get the root.
There's a Lotus Orb again out in the Drow Ranger. You Burrow strike forward. You'll stun him up. Here goes your Ravage. Can they kill off the Drow Ranger? Lotus Orb has worn off mid one. Can't actually get a proper static link. He didn't get anything in the rock. Connects on almost all of Team Secret. In comes the epicenter from Zai. It's the icing on the cake. Razor is down for 2 minutes. Puppy Overgrowth creates a little bit of space, but Tidehunter, he'll go down. Buyback is available. He may as well use it. It's all or nothing now for Team Secret. They're forced deep inside the base. It's a stolen epicenter for Yapzor, but he has to wait for his blink dagger to come off cooldown for him to use it. But he's losing too many teammates too quickly, and it's still only now just called GG. Yapzor will go back in again, but it appears the cameraman says this game is over already.
And it is definitely over. They tried really hard to take a good fight there, but EG was just a step ahead. Every single time that mid one blinked forward with the Razor, his opponents did the exact same thing, getting out. And because of that, it just became difficult for them to fight. They had a lot of good opportunities in the top lane, but they didn't want to mess around with the Aegis. And then on bot lane, they said, we have to do this. But ultimately, it still comes down to the fact that they were very far behind from the 10-minute period on, and they...
I'm happy, so fuck it. Yo, I'm feeling so fine. I'll be drinking more wine, flying high like a rocket. I got you got me. Do you wanna join in my drinking spree? I got you got me, and we don't know where else to be.
And how we were so proud, we had no doubts. Weekends and weekdays, we'd spend our own way. We were careless, we were fearless, we were reckless, time was precious.
We loved to waste time, whiskey and wine, drinking all night, asleep by your side. Finally alive, we would just drive, never arrive. Our journey was live, staying out late, testing our fate, running away. We live for today, young and so bold, never get old. Screw what we're told, we can't be controlled.
It's too late now, I remember everything, and how careless we could be, and how careless we could be, and how careless we could be.
I think OP and Burning took like 2,000 damage just running around. You're like, wow. Because once you hit level 20, when you're on Bloodseeker, you get that plus 14% rupture damage. It's actually so much damage, and he has 2 of them from the Aghanim. So
and the Bloodright with the minus cooldown, I think they were forced to build BKBs as a result, which is not something that you really want to do versus Bloodseeker.
I'm just so interested to know how this draft is going to go, because there's so many unanswered questions. You know, what on earth can you possibly do to hamstring EG is question 1, given that they have had a degree of diversity in their group stage. Bear in mind, we haven't seen them on this stage yet. Evil Genius has got the bye to this point, but we talked diversity. There were some recurring trends in EG's draft.
I think it's going to be the battle of the Bristleback. Who gets Bristle?
Yeah. Okay.
What's weird with EG, they've been kind of ignoring it or picking up in the second phase. I feel like at this point in the tournament, that's going to change, though. Like Seeker are first 2 picking. I think EG are either going to have a draft prepared to beat the hero, or going to have to ban it or pick it themselves early.
We've seen a lot of Puck and Crystal Maiden from EG.
Yeah.
Just getting those ones the flexible. Of course, we've seen Samael and Universe play it.
They actually take, okay, this is what we were talking about earlier. They actually take out both the Clock and the Nyx from EG. Yep, so 2 of Yapsters like main heroes, and also just the Nyx. These heroes just bring a lot of diversity in the draft. They get picked up first 2. You don't really know exactly where they're going to go, because they have played it in 2 different roles.
That's respect given to Yaps again. Every team that Secret have come in the draft against, they've given respect in their ban and pick.
So the Treant Protector is the big one. Are they going to get rid of it, or are they going to leave it and try to go for some type of strategy versus it?
And there's Night Stalker too. Like one of those 2 will probably be taken up.
So they banned on the CM. That's the one that we were. Yeah, we talked about it so much, how much it enables EG.
I think it's actually the hero itself isn't the OP part. It's what it makes your other 4 heroes OP versions of what they're meant to be. So because of that, I think you got to ban the CM. The Bristol's still there though, so if Secret want to grab it, it's definitely like a 1/2 they could pick up. There's no CM, but they could pair it with like a Keeper of the Light type hero, Treant Protector, and they will.
Yep, Treant Bristle.
Dire team pick.
That looks pretty intimidating.
Oh yeah.
That's so cool. I'm pretty sure I just saw a Malaysian flag in the crowd.
Yeah,
that was a mid-1 fan.
Yeah. Of course.
All right.
Damn.
All the way in Moscow.
I honestly, we continually get impressed by this Moscow crowd. We had the Finns for Matu yesterday, and now mid-1 has a cheering corner.
There was a burning poster as well.
But yeah, that's true, and a miracle one. They've got diverse fandom.
So still go for the Sanking. I think these are 2 of the big ones that we were talking about, the Puck and the Sanking. I actually believe did they run Sanking with CM every single time? I think they may have.
Most of the time, yeah.
Most of the time, right? Majority of the time they have played it.
They had one Sanking IO game.
Okay.
Against VP.
So some type of mana hero that gives like mana to the Sanking and allows him to roam better.
How many times have we seen EG pick Puck? That's the kind of thing I need to find out.
Every time.
It feels like almost every time.
Banned first phase.
Yep. Like 5, maybe 5 or 6 games.
Do very well in the first 15-20 minutes. It's going to be a lot of towers dying, most likely, if the tree can't stop that. And that's the other thing that's at play that's kind of interesting, is that Living Armor could really offset what EG tries to do against buildings. It can take longer to take their buildings, and if they aren't fully successful, they'll be healed back up. So there's a lot of cool play that can go back and forth in this game.
Well, Team Secret already started off with a nice play. Puppey has blocked the pull cam. He notices too that Universe is the one running up on the top lane. So Sand King is going to be Zion their support, rotating up to the top lane to try and help him out. While the bottom lane, they're going to push Arteezy to the off lane. So it's going to be Warlock as well as the Drow Ranger running the off lane. And Team Secret have already adapted their lanes as well. They're running both a Bristleback plus the Skywrath Mage on the bottom and pushing MP to the top.
Yeah, we'll see if that is for sure what they expect. I kind of like the idea of PA versus a Drow as well, because you can gap close and hit him easily, but maybe this is the bigger threat lane for sure. Between Drow and Warlock, two ranged heroes, they've got really good heal. I think they just want to try to bully Universe, and the root from Tree is going to help out with that.
I'm wondering too on the bottom lane, like who wins out actually? Like you talk about the Drow as well as the Warlock having some good damage, good harassment. Can the Skywrath Mage actually zone them out? We saw the power of Kezu just to sit in the front lines, and then Yapso just spams from the rear with the Arcane Bolt. Is that enough to burn the resources of EG before the 5-minute shrine?
EG kind of has the best case scenario, actually. It's two ranged heroes. They have bonus damage from a passive aura. Yapso playing Skywrath Mage. This is a hero with very, very low armor, and he's got good damage output. But they've also got a heal to counteract that, so I kind of feel like EG's got what they need.
Be careful. The setup is there from Samael. It's imprisonment. Zai's ready with the Burrow Strike. They're going to get the stun. Ember was so low with no Flame Guard. PMS won't protect him. The Searing Chase! And the Sal! He's back into the tree line! Zai doesn't have the mana for a Burrow Strike, but you know he's not giving it up just yet. He's clarity up. He wants to wrap around the side and catch mid one as he goes back past the tier 2 town, but mid one is running sidewind on the west. They cannot reach him there.
That was the most dead hero I've ever seen, but the crazy thing was that he backed off just far enough to cast Searing Chains, and that ability interrupts whatever you're doing as a hero, so it canceled their animation. They had to re-attack, and that only gave them one hit. Andy salved during that, which got him just enough HP to live. And the cool part as well, Puppey instantly TPing in the mid lane, because creeps under tower, somebody's got to get this experience. So instantly he gets there, he gets a fast level 3, and even though they harass the Emperor, it's going to delay his game. But Puppey can now take these 3 levels to the top and do good things.
And as we've seen with a lot of the Ember Spirits, it's all about the catch-up game, which you can play afterwards. Thanks to the early levels, it's a level 1 in Living Armor, which can be grabbed. So Yapso gets the heal on the bottom lane, while Zai was initiating on him. Also interesting to see the Puppey, no points up in lead seed, even with this aggressiveness he's been having up on the top lane.
He's got one more skill point. He may put it in there, probably will, because it'll allow him to kill better.
But almost every Treant has actually bypassed both Aegis guys in Living Armor to get that lead seed early on.
Yeah, in a lot of cases, and Universe getting his salve interrupted. This is really bad for him. I thought he read that Puppey would be here. He could go down.
Phase shift. Wow! Dodges the dagger.
Yeah. If PA had Blink Strike, maybe they dived, but didn't have any more skills, and Universe now in a really bad situation. His last Tango will trickle out. He'll be at 40% HP. He's got an H-Charge Wand, but past that, he needs a bottle soon, or something else. Losing that salve was very costly.
Okay, someone needs to rotate towards the mid. Like, I understand that mid one is down, and we talked about him playing catch-up later on, but Samael cannot continue to get this far ahead. 22 for 6 against the 9 for 1 Ember.
Yeah, it's a pretty big advantage, 1 level as well. I mean, he's going to have a hard lane no matter what happened, but I think he just has to kind of deal with it, and I think that's all right, because the other lanes for Secret are going very well. And in fact, I think the hero that I'm most worried about having a bad early game is always going to be PA, because that hero with just levels and no items isn't very effective. So I feel like for sure PA has to have a good time.
Zai starting his move towards the mid. It's a really good time as well. Imprisoment's up, but you know that the protection, the shields are gone for the Ember Spirit. This time there's no salve. Mid one, back to the tier 1 tower. There wasn't actually a real follow-up because OD has gone for a 0-2-2 build. Nothing unusual about that. They just didn't have enough damage to really follow up, but they do force mid one all the way back to base.
And once again, they get a support rotating the mid lane. This time it's going to be Skywrath Mage. Very much needed levels on this hero, for sure. The faster you get 6, the easier it is for you to do gank combos. And you're pretty much light on disable. You've got a little slow in silence, but very high in damage. So maybe he can use that for really good uses. And against an OD, I think he can be pretty effective this game, because that hero needs to not be silenced, to cast spells, save people with Astral, and just do a lot of damage.
Do you think it's actually worthwhile for Yapso to prioritize going in for the Ancient Seal against Samael?
I'm not sold on that build, because it just means your damage output is completely completely related to your ultimate. So I actually do like it when players max Arcane Bolt first. But maybe he'll do something like a 2-1-2 build, depending on what his needs are.
I suppose the other thing to look at is the amplification. Like, what else is he actually able to work with? The rest of his team mainly uses physical damage.
Other than Ember, I think that's the one guy that he can make a lot of good things happen on.
Now they catch the Skywrath Mage. Ember Spirit is just farming up, living armor, OD imprisonment, but here comes your TP. Is Tree on the way? Lee Sin will give a little bit of extra life. Will it be enough? Yapsol won't make it back to the tower in time. Evil Genius is still first blood. Zai, hiding inside the sandstorm, will be able to survive as well. A lot of rotations, and the kill still goes the way of EG.
And Sumail's the one to get the kill as well. So first blood going to the enemy mid. Very dangerous, especially the enemy Sumail player. That's not a good one to throw gold towards. But decent for both teams. Not the biggest loss ever for Secret, considering it was just a support.
Yeah. They're still going to look later on to have MP really hit like a truck. Kezu, trouble, the double slow coming up from both Upheaval and the cold arrows of Arteezy. He went for a 2-0-2, so there's no silence, but Zai, a Burrow Strike, catching out Kezu and Yapsol. They still can't get outside this bloody Upheaval. Yapsol has no point up in the silence, so Crit can just stand his ground, keep the silence going. They turn the Shadow Word onto Yapsol. He steals up on Zai, but Zai doesn't have the mana for a Burrow Strike. It won't matter. Arteezy has the damage. 3 kills to 0 in Team Secret. Starting to lose control of their lanes. They already lost control of mid, but with this double kill on bottom, the EG offlanes are looking really good. Oh, and a shrine. Wonderful.
Just a really nice play from EG there. They skilled Upheaval. They hadn't used it yet, probably, so their opponents didn't expect it. And the worst part was that despite Yepsor being there, he didn't yet have Ancient Seal because he was only level 3. Ticked over it in the last second or so, and he maybe could have used it to instantly remove the Upheaval, but
mid lane,
he held it.
They're going on top of Sumail. They got the lead seed out. Mid one, Searing Chains, actually missing the chains, but it won't matter when MP arrives. Getting himself a crit to kill off the OD. So you can leave that sword sitting in the ground. What does it actually say? Rest for the wicked. Sumail, you be wicked.
And that's exactly what Secret needs to do if they're losing their lanes. Take heroes from places they're going semi-okay, show up somewhere, get a kill, and then reset up your lanes in a positive situation. And right now, MP is very effective at roaming, so more good rotations like that. He could get a fast Deso.
Flank around.
It could be good ganks.
He goes up through the tree line so he can get around the back near to Arteezy. In fact, Arteezy walks into MP. It's like he didn't know that MP was moving all the way down. They just have to move forward. The double guts at least stops the slow from Yapsol, but cannot make it back to the tier 1 tower. Rotations are good, and Kezu will claim the kill on bottom lane.
Really nice rotation. Again, limits his farm potential, but killing heroes limits their farm potential, so ultimately good for Secret. And he picks up a really fast cloak, a very weird item for Phantom Assassin, but because he has good evasion and okay-ish HP, the counter is nukes. He'll go right through the evasion, and there's a lot of magic damage coming from EG, so I like the choice, even if it just sits right there for the rest of the game.
It looks like it. He switched himself in towards the Vlads, which is back to where he normally would be, so the casual cloak.
Yep,
just a Phantom Assassin.
Small 550 gold tangent can definitely pay off in the long run. Especially with things like tree heals. Puppy, speaking of which, has been going for a Max Nature's Guise build since there's decent counters against Living Armor, I suppose, and better root this way as well. So easier for them to gank heroes like Puck and OD as well.
Yep. Well, Puppy can take all the experience in the top lane and get more of those levels. Meanwhile, Kezu, because they've pushed the Phantom Assassin to the bottom lane, he starts farming up the stacks. There was only one small stack with the extra Satyrs that was prepared for him, but with his TP up, burnt the shrine, does his farm, and this is the catch-up game. The net worths now, you actually have the second and the third net worths being the Phantom Assassin as well as the Bristleback. It's the OD who's still number 1, not like no surprise there with Sumail, but it's the fact that Team Secret have just played such heavy catch-up with their cores and shut down the draw with the puck.
Exactly, because they spent time moving around, even if Sumail died one time.
You're too deep, Spirit Fort, mid 1, sees Universe, but they're just focusing on the Sand King. Now they see no seal. Able to orb away back to the tier 1 tower Universe.
Yeah, did he use it on the Sand King? Is that what happened? It must have been something like that.
I don't know if he was just in range.
Also possible, yeah. Getting out of range. Skywrath Mage is a very fast hero. He's got boots up, going to be building towards a Veil. I actually like the build a lot, especially, well, I guess this makes Ember not having to buy one.
Oh, Bristol's got to get out of here. Like, Upheaval, Kezu, he's actually, he's got 3 Warpath stacks. The movers will allow him to get to the left. Here comes Sumail, however, double damage rune. Actually, it looks like it on the OD, but they just hit like a truck. Bristol will fall, didn't have a lot of life. Puppy was trying to find him before this engagement happened, but he just didn't see him.
Yeah, only 23 damage actually from the Drow Aura, but boy does he hit hard right now. Huge mana pool. No Talisman, Staff of Wizardry. He's probably got his 4-staff flying out, and he does actually. So really good spot for Sumail to be in, and that actually is going to nullify a lot of the disable for Secret. And now that he has that, it's going to basically make YapzOr useless if he can force whoever gets gone on. That's
Are
really
they
bad
actually going to
situation.
defend this? First TP's coming in from Care, so at least he can pull the creep wave off the tower. With the Drow range obviously looking to take a lot of towers, the fact you brought down the tier 1 tower in mid is fantastic. But they're fighting wherever MP is not.
If they can just stop or delay the tower going down, it's a huge gain for them. Because again, living armor is going to be the way that they heal things.
The car is dealing with a Bristle, and they just want to go for some kind of like all-in push type strat. Although it's very hard to play the Drow Ranger against the Bristle if the Bristle does get farm.
Skywrath is like food though. Skywrath and Ember both have super low armor. Like any of these heroes will get destroyed if they get right clicked.
Got to throw in that tree though, right? The tree can just be like on top of you, and you're just like messes up with a lot of like your chances are with the Drow Ranger, because you just lose your aura or your marksmanship. Tree's also quite nice versus Warlock, because you can always just, I mean, if you're fighting in the trees, if you're fighting in the jungle, you can just like find that back line.
They still don't have an easy solution for the living armor either, so that's, I think, also a concern if you're trying to just initiate on someone with a Sand King or Puck and there's a quick living armor. That hero is very likely to survive.
Always worried about getting brooded.
Yeah, they banned the brood. They've been banning like a lot of those, like their last ban usually is like a Huskar, a brood, one of those kind of like cheese things that
They don't want to get cheesed out.
They even have the Sand King this time, and they still ban the brood.
And brood is like used to be like the Drow counter, like for a big part of when Drow was a very common strategy to go to.
Drow Weaver to be.
Probably looking at what, Sumail heroes now? The ban out for Secret.
But I mean, what can you be? He's played 9 different heroes.
With Drow Ranger, it's much more limited though.
Okay.
So you're looking at ranged heroes that generally attack pretty fast, like OD, Lina, and Wind Ranger are the 3 that you usually see with Drow Ranger. Anything else? You could put Puck, but I think that they would have scaling issues if they put Puck mid.
Go back to some like Medusa type hero with
Medusa's
the Drow Ranger.
Very likely to. Yeah, you're right.
OD.
They go for the OD. Yeah.
Did Secret not ban anything? Is that
right?
I guess so. I'm so confused. I was waiting for a ban to pop up, and then suddenly
OD pops up.
EG picking up an OD.
Gosh, do you think yeah, that's not PA.
PA, the anti-Drow.
The anti-Drow.
But there's so much magic damage, but the evasion's really good versus the OD in the Drow Ranger.
So I think we saw YapzOr pick the Skywrath, so it looks like it's going to be Puppy Tree. Ooh.
I like Secret's lineup more.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Even with the kind of spanner in the works of Skywrath, you like it?
I think Skywrath's fine. It's just the Drow Ranger, I think, is pretty vulnerable here. They still don't have a great way to deal with the Bristleback.
We saw it last time they played Drow, where the Drow kind of got bullied a bit, had a rough time, but the other lanes and heroes just did so well it didn't matter for EG.
That was versus Planet Odd, I believe.
Okay.
I think a lot of this depends on how Ember does in the mid lane versus OD. We've seen that matchup go terribly wrong for Ember's.
I'm liking Secret as well. I really like they have Treant Protector and they have Bristleback. Like I think these 2 heroes can actually just go out of control, and the Drow Ranger might not have too much of a relevance in this game. So even though Puck might get stuff, it's like a trade-off.
Despite outlining Secret as the underdogs, there seems to be a general vibe of Secret winning that draft phase.
I'm going with EG though. I think they've got strong enough lanes with the Drow Aura, the Warlock to zone the Bristle, and I think the Sky for YapzOr is a bit of a question mark for me, so I'll go with EG.
To be fair, there have been question marks surrounding Yaps in the past, and every single time
that's true.
We find ourselves talking about him afterwards. Let's have a look though. Secret versus Evil Geniuses. Hot favorites going up against the team that have just knocked on everybody's door so far here in Moscow. Let's check it out though as we dive into game 1 of our first semi-final here in Moscow.
Get out. We have got a huge matchup to kick us off today. Secret versus Evil Geniuses. I'm Toby1. I'm joined by the wonderful Purge.
Hey man, how's it going? Pretty excited for the match. The draft is pretty interesting as well. EG going for more of a Drow strat with some ranged heroes. A little bit what we expected to open up, but the Drow kind of came out of nowhere. You were surprised?
Yeah, Drow, she's been appearing throughout the tournament, but it's always been a little bit rough. Like the distance closes, but with no Nick Assassin, no Clockwork banned out early on, she's going to have a lot more space to work. But as the boys in the panel were saying, Drow Ranger, one of these heroes which can die time and time again, but it won't matter if you buff up your lanes so much better. So Samel's going to have a great time, Universe is going to have a great time, and we know Arteezy is no stranger to dying on Drow Ranger. Back when he used to run at mid, I remember one of the games he died like 7 times, got no kills whatsoever, but he just amplified everyone else so heavily. I think it was I don't
know if that same thing is going to happen though, because I mean it's an OD mid. OD is very good at winning his lane, or at least getting some lane advantage, but transitioning wise it depends on hero matchups, and against a Phantom Assassin it can be tough because of the evasion, like they said, and even against a Bristleback he can just turn his back, even though it's pure damage he still reduces it. So they Secret definitely has ways to play around it, and they have very good diving heroes between Invisible Tree, PA for Blink, Bristle just running at you, and Ember Spirit doing the same. So if Secret can find the right moments, they can definitely get on top of EG and quite easily punish them if they can get in all the way before getting initiated on.
I definitely agree with that, and that's where like the EG draft has a couple of problems, but as long as EG are able to be the ones that dictate the pace of the lane, then I would lean towards EG being the victors in this matchup.
Especially if they have a lane advantage too, if they do.
Yeah, bounding out the Razor, dealing with the hero that lanes really well versus the Bristleback.
I wonder if they are worried about the Legion counter too. We've seen them, I think it was yesterday when they picked Bristle, ban Legion. It's kind of always a question of where do you fit into your draft. It does reveal a lot of your lanes if you pick it with the puck, because then you know who's going to be going mid, but it's such a good hard counter to the Bristleback.
I think that, yeah, I think Secret's probably thinking about banning that one here. So actually take out the Void. Very good versus the Bristle, the time dilation, and just great combination with the Sanking and puck.
I think LC would make their lanes a little bit weak though if they wanted to go for that, because then it makes puck mid, and then they're, I think, lacking physical scaling into the later game.
Yeah, we've seen EG draft it 4 times the puck. 75% win rate. It's the only game they lost.
I like the Rubik ban from EG. They already are heavy magic damage, Sanking and puck. No field for the Rubik can be very disruptive, and he has some of the best spells to steal from Sanking.
The Malaysian section of the crowd.
There they go.
I think one of the questions EG also has to answer, not just the Bristleback, but the Living Armor one. Like, how are you going to deal with the Living Armor on these frontline heroes? You need like a Jakiro type pick, a Jug as a carry with Blade. You need something that can easily burn through the Living Armor, or it's going to be making this Bristleback even harder to kill, or any other hero Secret have.
EG's draft, has that just almost primarily been targeting like almost all of the supports?
All of Yap's heroes, more or less.
Yeah.
Damn.
The Kato is the only one that I don't think I've seen Secret play.
Well, maybe they saw what GH could do with it, and
I think it's the Bristle pairing. It's just the double quill spray. Just makes him super powerful.
Yeah. It's fantastic. It's just not a hero you'd normally expect or want to see Yapster on. He's more active. Perhaps Puppy could play it in like more of a 5-position role.
I'm thinking what the Yapster hero is going to be. Pretty much everything he's played at this tournament's actually banned out. Other than Kunkka, but Kunkka Treant doesn't sound
good at all. Do you think Puppy's playing the Dream Protector, more like a 5-position at that point then?
I think he tends to, yeah. I think it fits more of their style. I think it's what we saw out of them at Dream League and stuff like that too.
Skywrath Mage.
EG have banned Nyx Assassin in every single one of their games.
Where did that pick come from?
That's very different. Very good versus the puck though, for that instant kind of silence. I think Ben talked about it the other day when like Shadow Shamans were picked versus the puck. It makes his life like pretty difficult. If you jump in, you just get silenced, and you can actually get brought down.
10 seconds.
Very pressuring hero in the early game. I don't think I've ever seen Yapsar play it though.
When the going gets tough.
Could this be a mid Skywrath?
Unlikely.
Unlikely though,
It's a
right?
really bad matchup versus puck.
Yeah. You do get the magic resist later on, but it is also in the laning. It's laning way too difficult.
Awful.
Yeah.
They don't have a combo hero with it though right now. You always want a combo hero with Skywrath. I'm trying to think of the good ones. The good ones, best ones are Void and Clock, but those are both banned.
So I know you were theory crafting about the Kotl ban, but I'm a little baffled as to why EG have banned it in almost every single one of their games. Do they think they know something that we don't? Kotl to be big this patch?
It just messes with aggression, and EG's been pure aggressive.
Okay.
Yeah. They played against some of the teams they played against, like Planet Odd, have like a Kotl specialist as well. It's kind of maybe a targeted ban against certain players and teams.
Warlock.
It's the first Warlock from EG.
They used to pick it a lot more, but now that they don't have Crystal Maiden, it's the other 5 that they turn to.
So much team fight on their side now. A lot of like pretty high cooldown ultis though. Sanking in the Warlock.
How much of Secret's hand have they shown now with that Ireth?
Very, very little, I think. I mean, the Skywrath itself is like an unusual pick, but the fact that this fourth pick is what's going to reveal a lot more. Like, you don't know whether Bristles carry or off lane. You only know one of the 3 cores. It's this fourth pick where you get a much clearer idea of what Secret's going to be doing with their draft.
I think they need like a Ember. I think the root's really good for sinking and Puck. And they need a setup for the Skywrath ulti. And if it's a bad lane, I think they can have some treant help there, but like,
they can
I can't really
moves.
think of that many other cores that pair well with the Sky.
DK, right? DK versus Puck, instant disable, sets up pretty decently for it. Works really well with Bristle to have those like 2
not
beefy frontliners.
Anymore, though.
Yeah, not instant anymore,
that
but
sucks. It really sucks for that matchup.
It does suck for that matchup.
But it's pretty good. I think with that
It's
they can play
pretty
a pretty fast-paced game. Although the armor is pretty useless.
It is. He's been building a lot of good call. He's been building a lot of hoods and stuff on like the DKs, but yeah, they go for the Ember Spirit. Wow, very fast pick draw Ranger by EG.
I think they were expecting that. They pick it very often versus the Ember Spirit.
I think the draw pick was kind of like their draft's in a tough place. As